are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, hi. Is this thing working?
I'm feeling. I feel good. I went to the beach today.
The beach. What's a beach?
Dude, this fucking state is a burning husk, but there's a beach nearby. So if you just go to the beach, you can pretend it isn't.
Water everywhere.
Yeah, man.
What beach did you go to?
We went to the public beach up in Ventura County, where we can take Rooney, our dog.
Yeah. That's further up than the one you guys took us to that day?
Probably the same one. If we had the dog with us,
Right
it's
along
one we
that
always
strip,
go to.
right? Like you pull right off the highway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah, it was great. Only a few other people out there.
I almost did an impromptu trip to the beach the other morning. So we got our tenant, and he
The
brought
Airbnb.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
I woke up and he's got a chick with him, and which I didn't know. We're not anyway, so it's loud, and I mean, I just there's and I go out in my car. And then I was like, fucking, it's 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm gonna wake up in an hour or two anyway. But I'm just kind of thinking, fuck, man, I'm gonna just drive to the coast, and then But I realized that when I woke up, and then I was like contemplating trying to get back to sleep, I drank quite a bit of rum. I just had it sitting there, so I drank quite a bit of rum and then smoked a joint, and then I'm sitting in my car 15 minutes later thinking I'm going to just jam over to the coast, and then I remembered getting arrested a couple of times, and those flashing lights and that bad feeling of those handcuffs, so I didn't. I stayed home.
Solid choice.
I'm proud of you.
You had a little bit of a different beach experience than Andy, I guess.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, I could have, but
make it.
yeah, if I hadn't drank, it probably still would have been a bad choice just to shoot over there. But
how long does it take you to get to the beach?
I could be there in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's
too
bad.
far. It's too far for rum.
And I'm just a cop magnet. No matter what I'm wearing or driving.
It's the loafers you're wearing, Andy.
Yeah,
that's why the cops pull you over.
I look like a black guy in a hoodie to cops. I don't know what it is. If they cross the street and come over and harass me, I'm just riding my scooter, cop. Fuck up.
On the sidewalk, pig.
Yeah. I'm going to the beach, bitch.
Yeah, don't you have some fucking minorities to beat, huh? I'm just a white man going about my business. I mean, I got arrested, not arrested, but I got ticketed by that dog cop, and I was just minding my own business, like fucking shit,
Wait, a canine cop wrote you a ticket?
Yeah, I told that. It was issues with Andy backstory. But that guy, I had my dog in a park, and the guy yelled at me, and then he gave me a ticket for having my dog off leash.
Off leash.
Yeah. And it was, it's just, anyway, but, Coquille, there's like one stop, there would be a cop who'd 30 cars go by and then just pull out and get behind me. And I know it was probably, my dad had a really negative attitude towards cops, so it might be a genetic thing that, there's something in my family history that just draws the cops. My dad used
decisions.
My mom would,
and
tell. My mom would do the driving because my dad had dead legs and we didn't have hand controls, and my mom was inattentive at best, and she'd go down one-way streets the wrong way all the time, and my dad would get impatient with the cops, and you could mouth off to a cop in those days. Just a minute, cop.
Especially if you didn't have feet.
Yeah.
Did he play the veteran card?
No, he just go, take it, give me a minute, cop, because they'd ask him to dig around, and we're never organized. It's a shit heap, and he's
when
digging.
They cut off my legs, they cut off my pockets, so I don't have a license.
He had legs, like he looked like he could have been somebody who could fight until you tried to stand him up, and he was a gold bricker. His legs were deader than his spirit. I just got settled here with my weed. I went down to the liquor store, ran into Hobo Danny.
Uh-huh.
I kept
Any
running.
word on any
Any
word
yeah,
on the
intel?
street?
Papers.
It's
Yeah,
going to be a
it's-
slow process. At this point, it's not about recovering property. It's going to be about revenge.
Oh,
Right now,
All right.
everybody's stirred up in their own revenge plots. So I might have to wait till
are
after the December, January to really fucking go after it.
Are you saying Hobo Danny didn't remember what the fuck you were even talking about?
Yeah,
Bike.
totally. Who are you?
What?
I don't know. We
Who
had
are you again?
we had a couple of dabs.
You remind me of that guy with the crossbow.
He ran into
Hey, want to
me.
buy a bike?
I parked by a car at the weed store that had been. It looked like the car from Trains, Planes, and Automobiles after it caught fire. This car had been torched, and then I ran into Danny again, and I said I parked over by a car that got firebombed. He goes, "That's Eric. Eric's car got firebombed. Mention it on the podcast. He'll be thrilled." So Eric, glad you're okay.
So we're doing shout outs to terrorism now?
No, he was
Or to
He was-
non-listeners?
he got his car blown up. He got his car blown up by terrorists. So we do shot victims all the time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. He's a
Yeah.
victim of the terrorism.
Yeah,
I'm
Q
sorry
up
to
for
hear
him.
that, Eric.
Yeah, but it was I don't know how it got there. It's like, how did It's like it was pulled in front, like it got firebombed right where it was, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you move it much after you firebomb a car. It's pretty much
Right.
stays where it.
I'm sure
Where
it
it
had
got
nothing to do
firebombed.
with drugs or a stolen bicycle chop shop.
I was hearing something
There-
in my phone. I got my phone on, and it's Kermit Apio singing. He's doing a
Oh.
live show, competing with our taping right now.
Oh,
What a
our
dick.
time
That's
slot.
why we're recording. We're smart enough not to compete against Kermit, our PO singing live stream.
Yeah, he does Hawaiian songs, and I listen to I like it, but I want something I can sing along with.
We're smart enough to do a recorded version, Erickson, but somehow we have to figure out how to tell Andy not to live stream stuff while we're recording. That's
Would you shut up, man?
He's on the Kermit Apio chat board right now,
Hey, I'm watching some shit. That's how
moderating a live
That
stream.
happens to me all the time. I put my phone in my pocket, and then 5 minutes later, I hear messages, or I was like, "That sounds like it sounds like my brother." And then I'll pull my phone out of my pocket, and it indeed is my brother left a message or something. Yeah, my phone's alive. My phone is a live wire. I just let it do it. So it's free range. My phone.
Definitely the phone.
So I
Just
got
let
kicked.
it breathe.
Oh, sorry, man. It's like, yeah, after that debate last night, I'm very conscious of any crosstalk. Any. But I'm down at my
Yeah.
original.
That was
spot
brutal,
down-
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Totally.
It seemed like for the first 5 minutes, it might go a different direction. I mean, it seemed like the orange guy was on his game for a minute. He didn't seem and by on his game, he didn't seem to be dripping sweat immediately and dropping drugs out of his nose. You know how it is, like a Saturday late show. Comics in the bathroom
Yeah,
run.
we can spot him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He was
seemed-
like
You know,
he
a road
was like
comedian can spot a guy coked up.
yeah.
He was like that one guy that was giving the speech in the auditorium at Bill and Ted's at the end, and he's fumbling his way through it. At the end, he goes, "Safety Side football rules," and everyone applauds. It's like he did so good. You see how he
Yeah.
got everyone
Yeah.
on? It's
His
like
own
no,
San
it was
Dimas.
horrible.
Don't
I didn't
forget
need
the
to-
wait staff. Yeah.
I didn't need to watch it because I watched that little Simpsons clip that you posted, Erickson, which was
That was
probably
perfect,
exactly
right?
what I thought it was going to be.
It
was
was
fucking
so
funny.
perfect.
So, yeah, I didn't bother. And I knew all the
That's
funny
when
parts.
Homer was running. Yeah, when Homer was running for garbage collector against Steve Martin. God damn it, that was great. But yeah, that was a frustrating watch. I paced around through the first 20 minutes, and then finally sat down and tried to calmly watch the rest. But it was difficult to get through.
Yeah.
Watching Trump talk every time Biden started talking, Trump
Yeah.
started talking, and he is like an audience member who talks when you talk. Like if you have a heckler you can deal with a heckler because you can talk to them and you can either shut them up or do something. But this is one of those people who just talks only while you're talking, and you can't fucking do anything with that.
Well, he doesn't
You
know the
can't.
rules
Nothing you
of
can
a
do.
debate.
Well,
He
that's
knows
the
how to
thing.
Yeah.
berate
I didn't think
someone.
there was any. I didn't watch it because I knew all the funny parts would be on social media today anyway. So
I envy you. I
waited.
wanted to do that.
Don't
I
you think
wanted
that's
to
his
do that,
strategy?
Chad.
Don't you think that was part of
Yeah.
his strategy? Is like Joe opens his
Absolutely.
mouth and you know, like
Yes.
you know, you're gonna go ahead and dominate the thing by taking over the whole time. You know, it's like if one of the
Yes.
Smothers brothers really fucking got a big ego about him and just fucking squeeze the other one. What it looked like.
Just based on the clips that I watched, I was surprised that my first thought was, wow, they really did need Joe Rogan to moderate this shit. This was out of control.
That's funny.
Nobody had a control of this fucking thing.
He's the only one who can talk.
That's funny.
He's the only one who can talk to the both sides of the. There's good people on both sides. Rogan is the voice to both sides.
Yeah.
So that works. You know, the white nationalists enjoy Joe Rogan's podcast, and people who aren't white nationalists enjoy Joe Rogan's podcast. So he could be the uniter. He could actually. It seemed kind of weird. It seemed weird, like when they were going to. Dennis Rodman was going over to North Korea, going, "Well, yeah, you know," but Dennis Rodman could maybe talk him out of nuking us. Like, that's where we're at, you know. Fucking. It's a good world to be a part of.
I would take Dennis Rodman as a president right now.
Yeah.
It might as well be.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, what would I, I've never been into politics. I don't care, but what am I looking for? I want a president who hides what he really is better than the current one. That's really the benchmark at this point, is I know you're going to fucking be a liar and you're going to be crooked, and just hide it better so that we don't look ridiculous.
Yeah. Didn't it take
Yeah,
years?
we look like fools.
Didn't it take years of investigation and prying those tapes out of the Nixon White House to really get a hint at how fucking he felt about the Jews, for instance? You know, like he didn't get on camera and get all red-faced and go, "Oh, those Jews!" Nixon's a the perfect example. Like he was a douchebag and people hated him, but he didn't spew it all out in front of you. You know, he was he's a lot like Trump, very unlikable.
Extremely, yeah.
Tricky Dick was only likable to a few, but yeah.
Yeah, he was also willing to commit crimes at an extraordinary rate.
Yeah.
He was illegally bombing entire countries for years.
Committed to the job. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He meant it.
Yeah. Someday the Donald Trump and the Richard Nixon's Halloween mask will be side by side, and people will not be so button. You know, it's right now. It's going to take about 15 years before Trump to be a popular Halloween costume.
Well, they'll put it on in the store, but no one will buy one.
Right.
Like,
for a while.
Yeah, it'll be like a little kid coming by dressed up like Hitler. You're like, "Hey, man, beat it."
I think it's funny that you think there's going to be Halloween costumes in the future.
Know, right?
Halloween's over with. We're all locked down. Yeah. Halloween costumes are offensive anyway, so we're going to do away with them.
You got to listen to Adam Carolla, man. It's all over.
Yeah. I'd be afraid. I'd listen to somebody that wasn't fucking being extremely, for a joke, and they really mean that. So
it does seem like it's just fucking sort of hopeless, fucking ongoing, never gonna end. But then some people are fucking going out and packing the bars and shit. I don't want to be responsible for going to a comedy club and performing and getting people killed with my hilarious.
You're not willing to take that chance?
I'm asking you folks, please don't spread germs by laughing hysterically, but I'm going to try to turn it off. Be safe out there.
In order to be safe, I'm just going to do crowd work. This may seem like it's all off the cuff because it is.
What do you do for a living? Oh, first responder. That's really great, man.
Do you hear how many applause breaks I got?
You realize you're describing the Zoom happy hour. It's just fucking. Hey, where you at? What are you drinking? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is crowd work.
It's speed dating, or whatever.
Speed dating, yeah.
It's
I guess on
I guess if we get a giant EMP that forces everybody to have to go back again to work in person and do, without the infrastructure, I guess that'll be whenever we decide, find out what's real and what isn't.
I want more handouts.
How much is a hoax and how much is a pandemic?
Yeah, I need more handouts, man. 1,200, you don't give people a little taste of socialism and then pull it away from them. I'm used to it now. Where's my check?
Well, you could get unemployment if you had a job.
What's one of them? How do you even, here's the problem. I don't like filling out forms.
I know you like showing up and getting in lines.
Yeah. If I had to fill out forms to send shirts to people in other countries, and it takes me 6 or 7 claims forms or whatever the fucking things. I can't put my name in the right block, and then I make one. It's fucked up.
You need an assistant.
Yeah, you're bad at filling out forms. You're also horrible at marketing, Andy. You're tweeting out, I sold a T-shirt with 0 link on how to buy a T-shirt for anybody that wants to buy. I looked and tried to find out. I can't even find out where.
I'm working on it.
That
was a soft opening. That was
the time to work on it is before you release the information.
That was a stress test.
He was floating a trial balloon.
Exactly. So we rebuilt. We come in and traffic. Overnight we transform this bar into something I think you'll be very pleased with.
Oh shit! Your T-shirts are available now, buddy. Right? You can get them.
I'm wearing the fire version. Last shot version, and I figure they'll stay in the tubs until I mail them out, whether I go get salesman or not.
Works.
I assume unless they've gained sentient and grown legs.
Yeah, if I was a salesman for real, I would never win a trip to any place.
You get the steak knives?
I did. I guess it would have been sales. I went to a thing, and then after I sat there long enough, I realized it was Kirby vacuums, and it was a kind of a lockdown situation in a Best Western lounge room or whatever, and then this guy come in, and then he played music, and then he left. And then and I was listening to it, and then I got up and turned the music off because it was the song was Kirby lifts you up where you belong. And I heard it a couple times, and I got up, and then that guy came back in, and he turned it back on, and then I got up again and turned it back off, and then and he came. He had his spiel. And I wanted out of there, but I didn't feel like I could. I felt like there would be trouble if I tried to leave. and then he talked about his kid. He talked about his kid like his kid was dead or not there, and then his kid came out. Like I said, kid had drug
part
problems.
of the routine.
Yeah, like like his kid was at the end of his kid was fucking like tough love, man. I can't do this for you anymore. And then he joined the Kirby team and turned his life around. That was the gist of it. And,
Kirby lifted him up where he belonged.
Yeah, where he belonged. Yeah.
He belonged right there in that Best Western room with his old man trying to fucking. And how you sell those things is you sell idiots on buying them to sell them.
Right.
That's
you were looking at the last guy to fall for it. How did you end up in the Best Western at a vacuum cleaner?
Like a viable job lead, I was looking for a gig. And I'm young.
Oh, it was a job opening.
I'm young
answered
and
an ad.
energetic.
Yeah.
I'm a people person.
Do you like to travel? Not knowing that means we're gonna take you in a
Chad knows the
van and
pitch.
drop you off in different neighborhoods while you go door to door selling vacuums.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had to invest. It's like these shirts. Like I got these shirts now, but they're my shirts. I made, but I'm not buying somebody else's shirts and then agreeing to sell. So, and Mishka bought a shirt, but he sent a thing on and said, "I don't need it. I wouldn't wear it." So I'm thinking about
What a
sending.
douche.
I know. He bought a shirt, but then said, "Keep it. I wouldn't wear it." And so I'm going to package up the shirts I got of his and send those back to him.
And I'd
asshole.
send his money back too. I'd be like, "Fuck you! I don't want your money. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. But don't tell the person you'd never wear it.
Right,
Fuck you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a fucking shitty
shit.
move.
I know.
Don't wear it."
Right. I know. So I'm going to just gift that one to somebody else. Yeah. He says, and then he sends a picture of his ass. He sends basically, I send a tasteful artist rendition of my ass, and he sends his own ass, like the back of a hospital gown. Look at his ass.
I'm not even talking about whether or not the ass is artistic or the Nature Jack shirt is an appropriate shirt to wear. I'm saying if you support your friend by buying their T-shirt, take the fucking T-shirt, put it in the back of your closet, and never fucking wear it. Just shut the fuck up about giving it back to him and saying, "I would never wear this."
Yeah.
That's just a...
Yeah. So I mean, but he's, I thought it was a joke, but then I realized he's not really very funny. So he probably didn't turn something into a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I get where it was supposed to be funny is because he's never in a picture with a shirt on. So him buying the shirt.
Oh, yeah. All right. I get, you know what? I didn't even get that part of the joke. I take it back, Mishka. That's why now I see that he's joking about never wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
I forgot about for a minute, I'd forgotten that existed. And I lived in a universe where Mishka wasn't always shirtless. Yes. And now it's shattered and reality is back. I forgot. All right. So I take it back, Mishka. You were just making a joke. I didn't. That's on me.
He didn't make a joke. That's what made me think. But I'm, but still, I don't know if he wants a shirt or not. So
no,
it's on hold.
Absolutely don't send it to him.
Yeah,
take the
my
money.
orders
and
go out almost immediately, but that one's on hold. I had to open a whole hold area.
I just figured it out. That's a funny joke if you play it on him. If he sends you money for the shirt and you take the money and say, "Oh, I'm not sending you the shirt. You wouldn't wear it anyway." Yeah. Then that's a funny joke. But if he telling you that he would never wear it,
I'll just send him an empty package and say it's an invisible shirt. Fuck you.
Send him a pair of underwear instead.
Yeah, well, that was kind of disturbing, right? And it wasn't well received from what I saw on the Twitter. Is Mishka sending a selfie of him in his ass, and like you wouldn't want that on. I don't know. It wasn't something I was happy.
No, he's like a fucking 20-year-old girl. It's not even about the nakedness or the body parts. It's about the shamefulness of constantly posting pictures of your own body so that you can get laid.
Someone fixed it, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do with my note phone is I color things. And that cried out, cover up Mishka's ass with that. But look at the look in his eye. He's all happy about it, too. He's looking at his ass and going, yeah, all right.
I'd fuck it.
Yeah, he would. He'd fuck it. He's trying to figure out how to. So have I. There's just no way to There's no way to bend it around and get any kind of a play on it, You might be able to get it into the edge of it, but you're not going to be able to pump it in there. You can only hear yourself so many times before you try to do the math. Look it up.
Oh shit.
So Andy, really, where do you buy these shirts?
I Me right here. The story. It's
All right, I'm glad we cleared that up.
And
Everyone
there'll be a link
just
on
yell
my
at
web.
Andy.
There'll be a link on that Issues with Andy website if there isn't already, and then just Venmo or PayPal. And I
Fire
should
that
talk-
up, Shaley.
What's that?
Jack, last shot, right? Brett Brock, right there as the
and
shout
that-
out.
Wow, maybe in the future I'll have a little Nature Jack soccer team.
Actually,
all
a
little
tip,
dudes.
Andy?
Yeah.
A tip is if you click on Messi right here,
Yeah.
it actually goes to where you can buy that shirt. So
Okay, I'm gonna.
maybe
do
you
a
want to
tip-
look into that.
I'm
Maybe.
gonna put Messi on my site, and you can click on Messier on my site, and that will get you to my shirts.
Oh fuck!
But I have.
Well, I hope
sold
the
some
special's out
quite
soon.
a bit.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the special. I know it's almost done, right? We're just
Yeah.
waiting for them to
Sound-
finish up a.
Paul was going to go work with this the sound guy in Texas. This guy has mixed a lot of music and has his, he's a pro. So it was like two old fucking alpha pussy wolves, and so, they were having a few difficulties until they talked man to man and worked it out. Paul's looking for something different than most sound mixes for comedy specials are.
Is he looking for the laughs?
Laughter.
Well, he's minimized. He wants people to be in the room as opposed to it sounding like I'm
Intimate.
killing at a comedy club, which or whatever. It's like so it's
Right.
going to be an interesting feel to it as well, and it'll be done. That part of it's back and forth away from being done. So it's complete, and I sit on 4 tubs of shirts. If you want to help finance the back end, the colorization, and the sound mix, and some of that shit gets expensive. Like you got to pay people.
Yeah.
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 In the real
Unless
world,
you're
that's what
Trump.
happens.
Well, also sometimes people, people pay you in advance, or you have,
Well, you strike a deal with some distributor that was going to pay you for the product, but
yeah, I'm
you're
selling
just gonna-
potatoes out of my truck, and that's
Yeah, you're doing
This
mixtapes
comedy
out of your
special
out of the back of a
This,
Buick.
Andy, this is actually a good idea. When you get the special done, you should get some copies of it on DVD, some actual hard copies. I don't know what the plan is, but you should take them to a farmer's market and get a booth and try to sell them at a farmer's market or shit like that. That would be funny.
Well, I was thinking.
Well, I'll save you some money. Don't even get them printed. Just get the J cards and set them out there, and then people will ask, and then they'll walk away. I've been in the merch booth long enough. I know how this works.
Look at
Yeah,
that
but even at a
cover
farmer's
picture.
market?
That's gotta fucking
Yeah,
attract
that's gonna
somebody has
sell,
to swap meat.
Hell yeah.
Standing there in a shirt with an image of myself jacking off, selling DVDs with a picture of me jacking off.
What they'd probably do is because of the climate and the times we're in, they'd be like, "Oh, it's a shame. This boy must be doing this to help the fire victims."
Well,
Look at he burned his pants off.
I'll get a couple of joints and put them in Eric's firebombed van.
Driving joints.
Yeah. I got myself one. I'm very disappointed in the size of it.
That's probably what happened to Eric's car. He probably stole the bikes, threw the bikes in, and the bug out bag along with the driving joints, and then lit one of the joints on the drive back, forgot that he had put it down into the driving joint bag and started the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Went up.
Probably some of that, bee spray or lighter fluid that spilled out or whatever got on the bag. No, I don't know. I'm pretty good.
Andy, is this a confession?
No. I mean, I had a lot of.
Is this a secret window situation?
I'm waiting to be fucking ratted out.
Turns out there is no hobo Danny. It's just Andy standing alone
yeah.
on the sidewalk talking to somebody.
Talking to a sock puppet?
Somebody.
Andy's alter ego.
Hang on.
Oh, Danny, what?
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Did Andy steal his own bike? You've just revealed something here. I don't know
He
what
took
the-
off,
Hobo
dude.
Danny did.
Once he realized the gig was up, he fucking took off.
At the end of all the podcasts, it's like the usual suspects, and we find out Andy's been running the chop shop, the bike chop shop, all
It's like
the
on
whole
the other
time.
side of the camera. It's like all this memorabilia and just all the stuff he's talked about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
All
he's
the
back
fake
on the
names.
patio. So I think maybe
Yeah, he
there's.
said someone rented his Airbnb for like a month, and now they've already
that's
brought a
right.
chick in. It sounds like. I don't know. I'm intrigued to find out more about this situation.
Creeper
Absolutely.
Andy listening to other people.
It would be funny if Andy did have a usual suspects like scene, like the sniffer Ritalin is like Afrin spray. He looks at for sniffles.
He's looking
like
around.
he's looking at picking up the names off of the different
Yeah.
items around him, like fucking Kaiser Soze. God damn it!
I didn't plug in.
Oh shit!
That whole first 45 minutes was unplugged.
Wow.
A
Classic.
if you will.
Acoustics. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you're back on your patio, the old. We're taking it back old school issues with Andy right now. I like it, dude. I like your patio. I always liked it when you were out there. It was a good.
I didn't really address this area with all the fucking soot and ash and shit. So I'm in flux here. I didn't have time to put my clown heads out and shit.
It's all right.
Sorry, viewers.
You pulled it all in when the fire was dropping ash all over.
It was in my go bag.
I mean, you basically cleaned off the patio of all
Your clown heads were in your go bag.
Gary, he gets his go bag out when he gets to the place he arrives at, and he pulls out a giant Gary Busey head, giant Sheryl Crow head.
I'll be set up in a minute. Sir, are you gonna order or what? You're in the takeout.
Yeah. Sir, this is a Wendy's drive-thru.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just settling in. Yeah, we scrubbed it up, got it all looking good. I had attempted a bird situation today. I heard a bird smash into a window, and I saw it actually, and then it went, how they go. And then I went over there and then investigated it and picked it up, and it opened its eyes, and it's like, hey man, you've hit your head. You hit your head. Just take it easy. And I gave it its best shot, but it did not pull through.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, but with that, it looked like its head was fucking. I didn't think it was gonna happen. If I could have got it back to health, I don't know what we'd do together. It's fucking brain damage.
A buddy pig.
With a broken neck, it's just always flopping around next to you, asking you what we're doing next.
Yeah, the bird's got one of those collars.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson's cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, without being a doctor, I definitely could tell where it impacted the window.
There's a bird stain.
But it opened. One eye was clear, but the side that smashed its head, that one was a little, weepy, and it's like,
Yeah, he'll be flying left for a while.
I put him down a couple of places, then I don't want, my cat will come right after and kill it, and I was like, one thing, it's like, that's a bad day, right? You smash a fucking window, some dude's trying to help you, and he sets you down, and a cat kills you.
I'm sorry you couldn't save the bird. On the bright side, you probably did start a whole new pandemic with your wet market-like activities, picking up birds with weepy eyes and fucking playing with them, giving them CPR.
COVID-20.
I did consider that I should have washed my hands before making chowder.
For your Airbnb guests.
Yeah. Who happens to be.
They're headed back to New York City.
I don't want to make you paranoid, but birds are fucking ridiculous carriers of disease, Andy. Birds
something was going on. He sure was flying like he was high.
Yeah. He didn't fly into a window because he was healthy.
Yeah.
Basically the bird version of 9/11, that particular bird. Only the building didn't collapse. The building held solid because a bird isn't hot enough to melt steel. Do some research,
Oh.
sheeple.
Have you guys watched that
Oh.
Mike Tyson's Mysteries with Norm Macdonald as the pigeon?
Yeah.
A couple of times.
I didn't find it until fairly recently, probably within the last few months, and oh man, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I love.
That's Adult Swim, right?
So
I
I
don't-
watched
Yeah.
It's a
It's either
Scooby.
that or like that the late night one, whatever it is, one of those channels. But yeah, Adult Swim
Okay.
or Cartoon Network late night or whatever. I'll look it up.
It's kind of a Scooby-Doo feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the same animation style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it on Hulu for subscription.
Do you see
Yeah.
Mac Davis
That's where I
died?
watched it.
You see
Yeah.
that? He was on Scooby-Doo at least one time, I remember.
That's your connection to Mac Davis. It's
Who is
Scooby-Doo.
Mac Davis?
Mac Davis was a country singer in the 70s, and he sang what was the one? He had a novelty hit. He had a novelty hit song. What was it fucking called? But I'm perfect in every way. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble. That song. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect. That was Mac Davis, and he
I didn't know
also
that.
Mac Davis also played the quarterback in the Nick Nolte football movie. North Dallas 40. He was the quarterback of the Dallas.
You remember his writing
Cowboys.
show?
So this guy barely makes the cutoff to be in Jovi's Celebrity Death Pool, is what you're saying.
No, he wrote in the ghetto for Elvis.
70s. Oh, there you go. He wrote in the ghetto. That's a huge hit.
Well, and him
there
and
you go.
Helen Reddy died both at they were both announced
same day.
I was like looking to see what it was, murder suicide.
They're both 78.
Yeah. Wow.
It was like a bus crash at a county fair.
And isn't 78 the size of record? Full length. The LP was a 78, right?
Maybe that's the new 27.
Yeah.
You know? Remember how everybody died? Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison all died when they're 27?
Yeah.
78 now. Davis, Helen Reddy.
If you had a lot of hits, you want to die at 45. Maybe.
You get a lot of singles.
Yeah. C.W. McCall, he died at 45. You wouldn't want to hear a whole album of his shit. That's what I'm saying. The Convoy isn't followed strong. Yeah, Mac Davis. though he had a variety show. And then I remember at the end of it, he kind of did an improv. And I was like, as a kid thinking that was the smartest shit ever, but it probably peanut butter was already prearranged in the song or whatever. It wasn't as smart as it seemed, and nothing did. And all those TV shows I watched, now you watch them and they don't seem nearly as fucking smart or sharp.
No, Laugh-In does not hold up. Like you watch it now and you're like, oh my God. This is embarrassing.
I think I was just drawn to the laugh track, so I felt like I had friends.
Well, although that was just comedy at the time that appealed to the masses. Still, I mean, even if you look at the comedy that appeals to the masses, I still shake my head at a lot of stuff. I'm like, that's funny. I don't think that's funny.
I agree. Suppose that's right.
I mean, people who are damaged seem to like the comedy I do, and like Hobo Danny enjoys Brett Erickson. Me, he enjoys some Sean Rao. And I don't know
I'm more and more convinced Hobo Danny isn't real. More and more as the more this goes on, the more I see this as a Fight Club situation.
I'm not saying Danny's broken. He's a free spirit. He rides his bike around and he does his own thing. It just doesn't involve a house.
Hey, listen. Hobo Daddy likes all the comedians that Andy's turned him on to. That's all I'm saying. It's not a connection to me.
He knew he was a guy who was I was scouting flowers to swipe, and then
what?
I was trimming some flowers early morning.
Casing of flowers.
Yeah, there was a sidewalk that had some dahlias on the edge.
I remember this story. He had been on his way to get the morning day old. They put the day olds out in the morning at the bakery, and you were getting your day-old donuts. You got to get there early to get those, and then you grab those. And on the way back, he sees these flowers, and he's like, "I'll cut those flowers down and take
do
them."
that anyway. I always take the clipper. I mean, I don't do it much anymore, but I would get these bouquets, and I'd just go swipe a few here and there. Like, no, I wouldn't do anything egregious, and I wouldn't take from anyone who didn't have lots of flowers, and I wouldn't go deep into yards.
Andy, a bouquet is egregious.
No. You
Taking a
take
few
I-
flowers.
no.
never-
Eventually, 3 dahlias here, a sunflower there. Nobody knows.
He
the
makes a
difference.
bouquet out of his little
All right,
pickings.
So,
Listen, I stole the bike out of that guy's driveway, but he had a car, man. Who needs a car and a bike?
And I wouldn't have minded if I go out and I
Listen,
see
hobo.
my,
Listen,
I
hobo,
would've-
Danny. I mean, HD. Listen,
would've-
HD. I could have took that car.
I would have
mean,
been
yeah.
a little bummed out
mean,
had
I
I
took
gone
the- I
out
took the
and saw
driving
my
joints.
bike minus the seat, but I would have understood. Okay, they just took the seat. They didn't take the whole bike. They're assembling a bike, but they were mercifully just took my seat. That's what I do with the flowers. I don't take. So anyway, this guy stopped, and I was waiting for him to stop looking at me so I could resume what I was doing. And he goes, "Andy Andrist," and I was like, "What?" And then I was like, that's how I met him.
You had to have freaked out when that happened a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like.
you're busted, and you're busted by like the teacher. They know your name.
Yeah, I'm back alley famous in Eugene. I'm back there, somebody fucking chest deep in a trash can. He'll look it out and go, "Hey man, I got your CD."
That's because that's where all those CDs end up after someone steals 10 of them off the merch table right before the exit.
Yeah. Well, I do know that Danny told me that I gave him a CD a few years ago, and he says they still enjoy blast of whatever off of it. They can't play it anywhere.
Crank, blasting a crank off the CD case.
But whatever
Nobody
it is.
calls it crank anymore, Shaley.
I don't. I know one guy.
Bramps.
Yeah, I know. I go, when you go to a gas station and they go, "What do you want?" I go, "Unleaded." Okay. I mean, because it's like a whole, it used to be regular or unleaded. Now it's a premium whatever, and I still fucking do that because I'm an asshole and I'm refused to learn.
You're still writing unleaded on your checks.
Yeah. Where is my checkbook? I haven't seen it in fucking 2 decades. I never liked doing that business. Checks.
Oh, no shit. I remember balancing a checkbook. I used to have to balance a checkbook every month. Remember that? You used to do shit. What the fuck were we even thinking? I remember thinking when my parents were telling me I was going to have to do it and yelling at me for not doing it when I was like in college, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Why do I need to know exactly how much money I have? It doesn't matter. As long as it's to the penny, what fucking difference does it make? And then they were like, you're going to have to know this. Your whole life you're going to be doing this. And I was like, there's no way that I'll be doing this my whole life.
ATM cards
I was right.
Yeah. I have stacks of old bank books where I used to do that, and then they stopped as soon as Wells Fargo had an online thing where I could just look and go, "Yep, that's all the money I spent." Click, done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Bad checks. Getting checks returned because you have insufficient funds and shit. Shit, man. Hey, it's not my fault. I just don't do well at math.
Yeah, and it's also you get your checks back, so you get all your bad decisions paraded in front of you as you just get to go through them one at a time. Like, oh, fuck. There's another late night 7-Eleven. I remember thinking I needed a case of Miller Lite at 3 a.m.
Paper. Yeah, we used to have one too where it would do a copy of it. So you'd write a check and then there was a copy of what you wrote. Jesus Christ. Hey, fucking a strip club. You take a check.
You take it.
Erickson's right. It was always beer that you always bought close to payday that you thought with a fucking check would clear before. I can get a fucking case of beer right now. Fucking.
Yeah, my dad wouldn't have. I don't think my dad would have liked Trump because he called that check kiting, and he didn't. My dad didn't like any kind of funny business
What's
with banking.
check hiding?
Kiting. Like
Kiting.
that's what he called it. I don't know. I don't think
No,
it was a racist.
there's an actual thing where people do like huge businesses where they'll
stealing-
borrow from a bank
stealing
to pay
checks.
off another bank and then just keep it going. I think is what it is.
Yeah, my dad was a straight shooter when it come to that kind of shit. He didn't like cops, but he was a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, check kiting is a form of check fraud involving taking advantage of the float to make use of non-existent funds. So the float is the time from when you write the check to when it's actually honored by the bank and the funds
It's
move
processed.
over.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking
like-
Bernie Madoff. It's
so
robbing
it's like
Peter
when
to pay
you-
Paul.
When you write yourself a check, when you write a check to cash and you cash it in at the fucking grocery store up the street from your bank because you know it'll take them at least a day and you're going to get that cash tomorrow. You can run the cash in tomorrow to the bank and then you get drunk on the
If
beer you
didn't buy
bought so you
beer,
forget to
so
go to the
drunk that
bank.
You don't wake up.
When I was in the Army, we used to use overdraft fees like a payday loan. Like, if I pull $100 out of my account right now, they'll give it to me, but then they're gonna charge me $20. So I paid $20 to have 100 for the weekend
Of your own money.
So we would just do front end loans, I guess.
Front end loans. That sounds illegal.
Hey, I had a fucking good time talking to you guys on that Zoom thing.
That was fun.
Last time we did that.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of
I
fun.
hope we do that again.
It's our, we were doing 2 visits a week, and now it's 1, and so much goes on those days. So it was nice to check in on a Friday. Oh yeah, I used to have regular friend club twice a week.
I especially
regular friend.
I especially liked how you came in super hot, Andy, on the fucking Zoom and just
On
fucking,
brand. Totally.
yeah.
On brand.
I don't even. I think I was drinking a little bit that day.
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
this
those
week
are
we're gonna
fun.
do it. We're gonna do it on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and it's gonna be for the UK. Like we're still gonna offer it to people in our $5 Stanhope's $5 and up. But it's going to be the people that are getting off work or just in the afternoon when they would be going to the pub or whatever. So
that's soccer. That's soccer time, dude. You could have some Premier League games going on too.
Oh, that's true.
Hold on.
Yeah, my fucking Tottenham.
Dude.
I just watched
looking good.
the All In with Tottenham on Prime.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I want to see it. Jose Mourinho is my
that
favorite
guy's
person
amazing.
in soccer. He's fucking so cool, dude.
Forget all the bad things I
have
said
a man
about
crush
you
on
liking Jose.
Good. I'm glad. He's interesting, that's for sure. I like him because he's a coach who was not a former player at a professional
He's
level.
a shit player.
Like I like,
on a shit level. He said that to the team.
Yeah. He came up through coaching as a translator.
Yeah.
So that's how he got his first job in coaching, and then he just worked his way up and made it to the fucking top.
Yeah,
He's the
it's good.
king, man. I fucking like that guy. True soccer fans hate him because he plays a bad brand of soccer, which to
Cobra
Americans
Kai?
is all soccer.
Like the Cobra Kai, huh?
No, not Cobra Kai.
Doing
Yeah,
No,
sweep the
he's
leg,
not
Johnny.
Cobra
That's
Kai
basically
enough.
what he's telling him.
Yeah,
He's telling him sweep the leg.
I got through that show. I like the Cobra Kai is a good series.
I watched it.
But man, can white kids fight in a mall for a long time without any police intervention?
I know, right?
Dude,
well, spoiler alert on Cobra Kai. So this is a spoiler alert right now if you want to if you don't want to know what happens. But Andy, did you go all the way through it?
Yeah,
Andy?
yeah,
Have you seen it all?
So
not at the high school was unbelievable. It went on for 30 minutes without an adult. It's like, what the fuck kind of school is this? Where they just committed to having
at night
during school day. Fucking the one character got on the mic, knocked the principal off the mic during morning announcements and said, "Bitch, I'm coming for you," and threw the mic down. And then they all met in the fucking hallways and karate chopped it out for honestly up and down the school for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. And it was like, what the fuck is happening now?
Are you guys telling me that you watched a series based on a formulaic fucking 80s movie, and you're shocked at how fucking stupid it
They
is.
got it.
I did try to, just because of nostalgia, I tried to watch it, and I got not far in before I was like, holy shit, this is dumb.
I had a bunch of people from Peoria tell me that Johnny, I reminded them of Johnny. Like they were watching, they're like, oh, that fucking guy, it looks like
I
Erickson.
watched him wake up on the floor.
And
so
I was
maybe.
like, oh, fuck, yeah. That's when I realized why they think that. Because the guy's a fucking loser. I was like, oh, man. I thought that was kind of cool for like a second. I started watching the show. The opening shot, the guy wakes up on a fucking carpet with fucking spittle coming out of his mouth. He's like, whoa. I'm like, oh, I see it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Just grabbing whatever beer bottle's closest and chugging it with no regard to what's in it.
Cigarette butt.
Yeah. So
Drink
I
some
skipped
stale milk out of the fridge and
It was a fun little romp.
Yeah, the thing and watching that scene though, and then it's like all these different kids fighting, and it's just going on and on like High School Musical.
Got weird.
But you think, and I'm thinking,
weird.
doesn't anyone have a gun?
That would be funny. Cobra Kai the musical.
Where's the fucking Columbine style kids with their fucking trench coats? Like, I'll end this karate bullshit.
Say hello to my little friend.
You get that one line at the end of the movie. Looks like Cobra Kai does die.
Yeah. Strike hard. Fuck you. Boom.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and then the mall fight too. There's one black kid in the Cobra Kai or whatever, and he was involved in the mall fight. And I was watching it going, man, this is ridiculous. All these white kids fighting in the mall. And then it was like, and then there's a black kid who enters into it, and it's like, where? What? This is no way this would happen. There's cops fucking all over that mall. SWAT team. There's a fucking black man attacking white kids at the
They'd
mall.
have to shoot that. They'd have to shoot that black kid for sure, for his own safety.
But yeah, I think Johnny kind of his voice or something reminds me of Henry Phillips, but also
got a bit of a Henry Phillips vibe to him.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was all right. There's not, there's only so many.
It was
Tiger King.
It was funny. It was funny to me that the way it played out was that from that kick forward, from that moment where he kicked Johnny's ass, he took over and he became this super rich, successful car salesman with car dealerships all over the valley. And Johnny was just a piece of shit, fucking alcoholic driving his fucking old Firebird around, living in his tiny apartment.
It's the end of Back to the Future 1.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Waxing the cars, and Crispin Glover is a published sci-fi novelist.
If only my mom hadn't worked at Community Action.
And everywhere Johnny goes, like he sees the billboards, he turns on the TV, and it's a commercial with Ralph Macchio going, we chop the competition, and then they give you a bonsai tree when you buy a fucking car, and he's just like getting madder and madder as he's watching it.
You see at the end of that, the end of it.
I'm a simple man, I know.
Like Johnny sent her the ex-girlfriend a friend request, and then at the end of it, his phone's down, and then she replied to it or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's coming.
Season 3.
Yeah. I'm in, man. Yeah. It is so stupid though. The first time I saw Hedberg, it was at Bellingham Mall, and he was talking about how stupid
Bellingham, Washington, like way north up near the border.
that elephant's castle that's just
a
shitty room. You're like doing comedy at a TGI Fridays on the floor between tables. And Hedberg was talking about, I just saw the Karate Kid 3. That's ridiculous. Why is everybody in the high school trying to beat up the hot chick? I think that was the one with Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
And then, but it wasn't, he was just riffing, and it wasn't a crowd to riff with. And it was like, like I ate a miserable dick there. And then Mitch went up and did, he had better stuff, but he got the same response. And then I think the other guy was a seasoned pro who turned it into a moderate, fucking forgettable evening for a bunch of people eating way too many calories.
Yeah, Mall Restaurant was probably the worst place to do a comedy show, other than maybe
Bellingham is a bad place too.
Student Union Cafeteria is also probably the worst place. But Mall Restaurant was always bad.
Yeah, that was always a big night.
Comedy vibe.
The Seattle Comedy Competition would always have one of the big, it was like one of the final nights, so it was meaningful. Like you could lose, you could advance or what. It was at the Bellingham at that same place, and it was a bigger crowd because it was a competition or whatever. But it was the same shitty fucking room, and I remember walking around the mall and with Mitch, and we were joking about it, like all the comics that'll lead off with a mall bit, trying to figure out which comic, what store would be referenced by what guy. They're pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always dreaded that one. It was one of the fucking worst. And then there's a real similar room, same setup in Crescent City, California. That was
it's northern, yeah.
Yeah,
Northern
they
California.
just prop you up on a fucking plywood thing on a fucking table. And I remember getting fucking shots sent to me, fucking ridiculous. And I hadn't heard of doing dummy shots at that point. And I was fucking eating it, and I was like, fuck you. And I just challenged people, and they would come up, and I was doing a shot. I was trying to drink the whole crowd under the table. And then, I remember being fucking, kind of coming to in the back room. I puked a few times, and I was sitting there.
Is it over? Did I win?
Yeah, the manager of the place looked kind of like Danny Ainge, and he was like, he said I threw up a few times and kind of passed out in the back of the room, and then he's like, and then he goes, here, you want to smoke a little pot?
Oh, Andy, this sounds like a trap for you.
Yeah, that's what I needed. He knew.
He knew.
Yeah, when somebody's belly sick. And he had Humboldt, so I worked that place a few times after that. So he got fired. You can't run a loose ship like that in a mall.
Imagine being the club manager and having Andy pass out and throw up all over the place, all different places, pass out in the green room. Then you get him high, and then as you leave, you're like, I'm definitely having that guy back.
He told me.
And you book it back like 3 or 4 more times.
He told me people were lined up to do a shot.
Andy.
He said people were lined up to do a shot against me. I'd already got like
they were lining up to do shots against you, like an arm wrestling competition.
Yeah, it started with just some loud chick, and I said, "I'll do a shot with you," and then someone else goes, "I'll do a shot," and then I'll take a, start mouthing off, and then it got to be, where it was like they're trying to put me down.
That's the wrong angle for the merch booth, Andy.
Yeah,
they were each buying 2 shots. That's the right angle for the bar, I guess.
That's what I said. He smoked weed, and I said, I apologize for puking or whatever. And he said I sold a lot of liquor. So
he never made.
He was he knew the business side of it. He knew, like what a lot of people see in that situation is somebody throwing up and doing a poor show. But he saw me as an excellent drink salesman.
He hit the C out.
I can't believe you didn't adopt that as a gimmick and just do it everywhere.
Yeah. Sometimes when you do a show and you throw up all over the place, you'll get a bad review. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's not set in stone.
Don't lose sight of the big picture. We're all here to sell drinks. Entertainment is a ruse to get people into the cups.
Yep.
Andy, you were totally right. I mean, that was the philosophy behind my band at Coots. We were not good as musicians. The singer was good. The rest of us were, especially me. I'm just hanging out with these guys. And honestly, all they had to do, we had a great band in the other bar playing their fucking hearts out and way better than all of us. But when they Z'd the till at the end of the night, we're winning.
Yeah.
It's through the roof. And there's this. It's the same with the comedy shows. If we can get a good ring on that till, it doesn't matter what happens. So even on the open mic nights, we would outring the band.
We recorded at the Comedy Store a couple of New Year's Eves ago a Theo Vaughn show. Theo was the headlining act, and he's very funny, Theo Vaughn. But he doesn't drink.
Is he from L.A.?
No. He grew up in Louisiana. But he doesn't drink, and he had a bunch of comics on his show who also didn't drink. So at midnight, when they came out to do the countdown for the big champagne toast and everything, they had 5 comics on stage. All of them had water bottles in their hand.
Oh,
and I was like, this sucks. Like, how is this? It's New Year's Eve. They should be banging out the drinks right now. And everyone's like, water.
Or at least Ottawa George should be in the back of the room heckling.
Yeah,
that's
something.
Enjoy your water, you faggots.
We had deals. With like beer companies that said, "Look, it would be helpful if you guys supported the brand, and we're going to give you a bunch of T-shirts to give away. They're going to give all this stuff, and we're just giving out free shit." And I'm like, "Oh, got you." So we're all walking up on stage with a Bud Platinum. And and I don't know if it works or not, but we got what we wanted, and they had the visibility. The brightest lights are on the stage, and there's at least 4 Bud Light Platinum, and then you drink one and you go, "Hey, can I get another 4 Bud Light Platinums to the stage?" or whatever. Ice beer was the thing. They would
this is what we need to do. We need to take this on the road, and we need to get sponsored.
Yeah,
you can't do that legally.
We'll just do comedy that makes you thirsty. A lot of desert stuff.
We'll sell them salt packets because they're waiting in line.
Yeah, like wrestlers had to do salt, right, to lose weight. I think that was a thing. Wrestlers would have to take salt tablets to sweat more.
Is that what that is?
I think it makes you sweat. Yeah. I think it makes you sweat. Yeah, I remember when I'm old enough that you'd take salt tablets when you were done. Like, we used to take salt tablets at the end of football practice in high school. And I always thought I never understood why we were doing it, but we were doing it.
I don't understand why you did it anally.
I stole a couple of extra ones from the basket and jammed them in there, but that was just me. That's why I went to football practice.
That tossed salad was awful salty.
And I'm grateful.
Oh shit! All right. Well, that's a good podcast right there. I feel like that was fun. Let's mix a drink and come back on the other side. Done. You say, fella? Yeah.
All right. Let's get our plugs in.
Sounds good. Get your Andy Andrist Nature Jack T-shirts, folks. That's what we're pushing right now. That's the only thing we're pushing.
As seen on Issues with Andy podcast.
That's right.
Available.
And you'll know that these T-shirts, the money that Andy's getting from these T-shirts will go to help pay for his new special, Last Shot, which is going to be out very soon. You can be a part of that. How good would that feel, being a part of Andy Andrist's Last Shot?
And know that you helped make that while wearing that shirt, standing there and watching the special with your pants down.
Perfect. Burned off.
Your dick or your vagina in your hand.
Who said you weren't good at marketing?
Me.
Don't forget Chad.
There's Chad's Twitch channel. Subscribe to Chad Shank's Twitch channel, folks, and watch him play video games with his friends. It sounds like something little kids do, but it's really something that old white drunk guys can do too, and it's a lot of fun. So watch.
Yeah, I was on there last week after the happy hour. I was so drunk, and then I actually found my way onto the Twitch stream, fucking around in the chat. I forgot about that until just now.
We don't focus a lot on video games for certain. It's more of a drinking, smoking, shooting the shit. A lot of fun.
You're up on his Twitch is like would have been like me ending up over at the coast. This got kind of fucked up and woke up over there on Chad's Twitch.
Well, you're not going to get a ticket.
Little belly sick.
Belly sick. Another great title for the album.
That would be a good one as well. And we're going to go over to our Patreon. That's what we do after this. We do an after party over there where we chill out and have another round.
We talk shit
So
about
join us, won't you please? It's not very expensive. It's $5 a month. We can even do annual memberships now. I saw that we'll start offering those. We'll give you a little discount. You see that, Shaylee? Annual memberships. Probably doing that for Doug, aren't you? No. We can maybe do that if we want. Anyway, we're over there. It's really cheap, and we hang out for another hour, and we do this some more. If you'd like to join us over there, if not, thank you. Thanks for being there. Like and subscribe to the channel. Be safe. Be well. We love you.
Yeah, I just tried my comedy hour on him. Just ran my hour past.
It sounds like it needs some sound mixing.
Yeah, definitely. Put the Brady Bunch laugh track in there and jazz it up a little bit. Carry it, stretch it. The Brady Bunch laugh track.
What's the fire situation around you, buddy? Is it okay now?
Well, it's still all the ingredients. The next week is going to be great for my weed plants, but pretty nerve-wracking for high winds or anything. But if we get through that, then it's going to cool down. It started to get smoky again, but I think that's coming from Cali, which is getting, it's kind of alternates between which state is getting it the worst, between California and Oregon this year.
Mm-hmm. But around you, but in your vicinity, you're not going to have alarms going off telling you that Goshen is
maybe not. No, I don't think so. I drove out on the Mackenzie. I had a bunch of shirts to mail, and I went to the post office, and it was fucking a long line. And I went to another one, same shit. And then I was thinking maybe up by where the fire is, because I remember there's a couple post offices, and I didn't know how close the highway stops right at the post office, where there's it's like the smallest post office in Oregon, probably Vida, and they happen to be closed because of the fires and shit. But if they were open, I would have been fucking. I had like 8 packages to deliver or mail, and it would have been fucking just me as the only person. And so I couldn't. They don't let you drive up the Mackenzie River because of their guide cars, fire danger and shit. So I might go up there if I get there early and follow a guide car. So I'm curious to see what it looks like and shit. But I saw plenty of. It's pretty fucking. It's like a tornado path or something where you go, it moved over, but seeing where a fire swept over, and it's like one house is gone and the other guy is there. It's fucking yeah. And then
that's how they catch a lot of those guys.
What's that?
Isn't that how they catch a lot of those guys?
Oh yeah,
to see their handiwork.
Right. No, I wouldn't set any. I would only set my own stuff on fire. But I also went out. I went to where I went and got all the rock early, where the lady had her Christian thing blaring on the river, because that was one of the evacuation areas, and I drove there. The
Eagles.
Yeah, I got out.
Jack off Eagle Rock.
Right.
I remember.
Yeah.
So it's okay, jack off Eagle Rock.
Yeah, and she had her shit blaring again. I just walked down, heard her music, and turned around. I didn't have any effort.
That was the extent of your welfare check.
Well, it's exhausting. You try to nature jack and mourn the loss of the earth at the same time. You're like if you're, you had a hooker and she died before and you weren't into that.
It's like you're having breakup sex with the earth.
Yeah. So I went out on the perfect road for it and a pond, but it looked all gothy or Edgar Allan Poe poem kind of shit. So it wasn't my style. I like a little more sunlight.
A good metaphor would be jerking off with ashes if it just weren't so literal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that is not the best. Jesus, I can't even think of the term.
Lube.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Incentive.
It's been that long. Forgot the term. I was gonna say spittle.
That's the first to go. First you forget the word for lube, and then you start dry jacking all the time, and then you lose interest.
Yeah.
I've never understood the need for lube to rub one
Yeah,
out my whole life.
Don't
That's
need
not
it.
been a thing. I
Nope.
think that's just a cliche joke that somebody made up.
I can
No,
practically hold it
What
against
kind
my
of guy
leg.
takes that kind of time? Yeah, that's like extra cleanup. What kind of guy makes extra mess when we
Yeah.
don't have to?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I have to be
I don't
careful.
even
I have to be careful holding too many grocery bags coming into the house.
It's basically like, you should be like a dude clearing a snot rocket.
Yeah.
Like, your hands dry. And then, and then it's like, as long as your hand, if you get all lube your hands, and it's like, holy shit, I ran into that today with, I got a cafe yum bowl to go, and then I was eating it in traffic, and then somebody fucking did something that distracted me, and my bowl tipped over into everything, and I had avocado in metal
Andy,
grooves.
you ate a bowl of soup while driving?
No.
I was really hoping he fucked it like a peach. I was waiting.
No, I was.
He has to keep
we gotta take our time with this one, guys. We gotta take our time with this one. All right, let's enjoy this like the avocado meal that it was. So what is it? Where did you go and what were you eating? What did you get? You
It's
said
like
the cafe.
You get a medium.
I don't know what that is.
It's
What
rice and beans with
kind of
cheese, sour cream. I can tell you exactly because I picked it all out of my dash. Sour creams, bean, avocado, a little bit of cilantro, and yeah. Oh, and then I finally, I pulled off in front of this other business and was throwing. I parked in what were the spots reserved for elderly. Well, I'm mad and I spilled shit in my car. So what's the difference? What's 10 years going to make a difference?
No, you qualify.
Yeah, I got
not
both.
a legal sign anyway, Andy. Fuck them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, reserved for the best employee. That's a matter of opinion. So I'm digging out. It fell into this metal. I got a metal catch-all basket of stuff right under, and it fell into that. And all the fucking avocado and sour cream's all on top of the bowl. You're supposed to kind of mix it in there and get the yum sauce going. And instead of eating my yum bowl and merging in traffic, I dumped my fucking rice bowl, and now I'm fucking swinging around and going to the parking lot, throwing the shit out. And then I took I took a couple of handfuls of it and jammed it in my face in anger. And then I was like, I fucking hate eating.
You toppled
most
a whole
of it.
bowl of rice.
3/4 of it went onto the floor and into
like your vents
all
and shit
over
like
a bunch
that.
of shit. Yeah, some on the dash. When it started to tumble, I panicked, and then that hit the fork, and that's what got up on the dash. I was fucking pissed, man.
It started to move. It started to slide forward, and you went to grab it, and you hit the very end of it, and then it flipped and spun into the air.
I was trying. It was a quick merge, and I was gonna do it, but then this other asshole did it, and that's what fucking dude. That's what I'm doing, So that fucked me up, and then the whole thing, man, the worst case scenario, and I was looking forward to that, and then instead,
you know what you're like, standing there throwing your fucking food on the ground and being all mad at the side of the road. You're like a race car driver who got in a crash at the very beginning of the race, and they get out of the car and they're all pissed off and they take their gloves off and they take their helmet off and they fucking throw that shit on the ground. They're all mad. They kick the car. God damn it.
Yeah, that's what I did. There's a few, there was a few people who enjoyed the live show from their sidewalk tables, but mainly,
so potentially it could be a clip on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or Instagram.
Well,
TikTok, dude. You're probably famous on TikTok already as angry old guy.
Avocado throwing angry white man.
Yeah.
That's what really fucking pissed me off. But when I was pinching that up through the thing and chasing it, I was fingering the avocado down through and making it worse. But I was like, this feels like this feels kind of good.
You barely buried the lead
wait a minute.
here, Andy.
Wait a
and
minute.
So
you fingered
angry.
the car.
Let's
I
search
banged
TikTok for guy
avocado, but
fucking his
trying to,
vents.
it's trying to clean it. It just kept sliding down. So I basically fingered it all the way down into the basket onto the rug of the car. And then I was like, fuck. And then I just took the basket out and threw that out. Yeah. It was, I went from hero to zero right there. That was the jazziest yumble I ever had. I had my jazz hands trying to gather up the fucking cheese.
Oh
I-
man.
To me, from my perspective, it's funny that like to me, just to get a yummy bowl is a very conscientious decision. You're making a very healthy choice. So it gives you the illusion of being a better person than the rest of us. But then you just lose your shit and fucking throw it all over. You might as well have pulled over and got a rodeo burger from Burger King. You're the same
double
fucking
quarter
dude as me, dude.
I would have thrown that too. I get emotional with situations like that, and it's not fun. Yeah, I remember fucking crying because I got kicked out of one of my elective classes, and then I ended up in home economics with Mrs. Sturmer, which of course we goofed her name to other things. But anyway, she taught us how to make fudge, and I made it at home, and it didn't turn out at all. And I remember running out, and my dad getting out of his wheeling out of the way, and I was fucking crying, and I was gonna throw it, and then gonna throw it out and just dump the tray. It was liquid, and then I tripped over Bob the dog and fucking spilled all over the fucking. But there's a lot of those situations in my. I don't cook that much, but when I do, it becomes like that.
There's always a dog tripping you.
Well, I remember that because I was like, just like lost it in the, it didn't turn into my mom's like, how'd your fudge turn out?
It's out in the yard. You must know.
Eating this fudge, it's fucking shit.
Bob ruined my fudge.
I thought he was going to go right, and he did not go right. He went right in front of my, so that was why it wasn't his fault, but I was running emotional.
Cut to a shot of Bob the dog, and he's just covered with chocolate, and it's just all covered, dripping down his back and his legs.
Yeah, it didn't kill him. He didn't kill him because he got right into licking up the mess. I was in it, man. I was fudge. I was up to my fudge hole in fudge. And it wasn't. I don't even know if you can call it fudge because it didn't set. I was in. Right. It was liquid shit.
Didn't meet
fudge.
the bar. Fudge water.
It's like if fudge got a stomach ache.
Belly sick fudge.
That's it. Belly sick fudge. I packed for that company.
Why were you making fudge?
Because it seemed so easy.
For home economics.
Yeah, well, it wasn't part of class. I just did it as a thing, man. I just I had that bug.
You were inspired during home economics?
Yeah.
Fudge?
Yeah.
Sounds like Mrs. Sterner was a pretty good teacher.
Mrs. Spermer.
Hold on, guys. Here's the ingredients for fudge that Andy fucked up. Chocolate chips, milk, butter, and nuts.
I think it has something to do with the way you do butter. And I'm also pretty impatient, so it could have been one of them. Let's set.
And really only 3, because you don't need to put walnuts in it to make it fudge.
No, you shouldn't, because that makes it something people don't want to eat.
It sounds like you did pretty good until
an
you
allergy
over
situation.
the dog.
Yeah, well, but the fudge didn't turn out at all.
No, he was already taking the fudge out to throw it out in the yard when he tripped over the dog.
Yeah. I mean,
it would already failed. He'd taken it out and it was still water, so he was so mad he was crying. And he went running out of the house with his fudge tray, and Bob took him out at the ankles. Fudge water.
I wish I could hear my dad. I wish I could hear all my dad's comments on shit like that, because my dad was cruel. My dad was cruel and funny and sarcastic. So he probably,
Yeah.
he probably had something kind of funny to say when that all happened, but I
He
didn't hear it.
really should have had his own podcast. He was
He
before
said a
his
lot of
time.
funny
God,
Would
shit
have been
for his own.
hilarious.
I think he did a lot of shit for his own enjoyment.
Mhm.
He'd say funny stuff that nobody liked. I mean, he should have been a comic. We could have worked the
Like your
road together.
dad.
I could have opened for him.
Funny stuff nobody likes also could have been in the name
Yeah.
of your special.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I told you this one, but when he was getting wheeled in to have a leg removed, he was like, "Call the Grim Reaper." He was saying that to the
Yeah.
nurses. They didn't think it was so
Wait,
hysterical or anything.
he didn't get them both amputated at the same time?
No, no. Yeah, they left him balancing on one leg that he couldn't.
And
He
Andy
didn't have one leg
and
to stand on anyway because they were both paralyzed, but they took away one of the ornaments. It
and
was
Andy
optional.
slammed each leg in a different door at different times.
Yeah.
He only sat on one side of the
I
car
think-
for a while.
I was responsible for the left leg,
At
and
one
then
point, he had
Uh,
both legs going out each side of the.
yeah, there's this.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a when you don't have any fucking feeling in your legs, they are fucking dead weight.
Yeah, that would be weird.
And then like
Carrying
when
him around.
that was like his sense of humor when he lost one leg, then he's like they cut the pant leg out of him. He had all these cheap fucking sweatpants that you could pull up over a beanbag chair or whatever. And so then he had one leg, and then he's like, oh, I need to find somebody who just has one left foot, or like he was gonna
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about shoes, or like he could, but it was like it's not the family's like it's not funny to us.
Well, I mean,
the,
think about
the
it.
caregivers.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
have one leg amputated, and you have no feeling in that other leg. That you still have to care for that leg that has no feeling, because they can't tell you if it's cut or if there's something wrong, because they don't have any nerve endings. That happened to my dad, where he couldn't tell that his toenails were growing over like a fucking gargoyle on Notre Dame. And we'd have to fucking take him somewhere to get his toenails like a cow or a fucking horse at a farm, right? Because no one knows how do you deal with something that's so
Grind her out.
overgrown. Yeah.
Whenever I was in the Army, I first got a
Jesus
computer,
Christ.
and I got on the internet, and my first thing that I remember ever getting on the computer was a website called cutoffmyfeet.com. And it was a guy who, and I don't know if it turned out to be a scam or something, I don't remember, but he basically said he was in like a boat accident, and had dead feet. He didn't have any, feet, but he wanted like Oscar Pistorius feet, but his insurance would not pay for them unless he lost his feet, like in an accident. So he had set up a guillotine, or no, they wouldn't pay for it at all. So he figured out how much it cost, and he had set up a guillotine, and you were going to pay to watch him
To push the button.
live stream cut off his feet with a guillotine. And,
Maybe I shouldn't be selling shirts at all.
Money, I think it got. I never did get to watch it, but it was one of the first things I remember on the internet, and I was like, "This is fantastic! The internet is great."
Yeah, I would like to see that procedure. I think my dad would have been, if we lived in the South, my dad would have been good as a Civil War reenactor. It's like just lay him down.
Yeah, they need guys like that to.
Oh,
to add
one
to the
leg,
realism.
one leg laying there. Yeah, I think it would be, or on surgery table. Yeah, my dad didn't have those. That would have been something. We couldn't even drag him down to the beach. He liked to be on the beach, but drag him down there like a fucking dead pirate was the only way to get him down there. We can edit sound in there. We can sound edit.
I was just picturing you guys wrapping your dad in a blanket and dragging him to the beach. So
Could have, if, Larry wasn't so. We needed a team. That's what we could have done that sort of shit. He had 5 kids. It's just nobody really liked each other, and trying to coordinate 5 people who fucking hate each other's guts. It's not really.
Hey, Andy, I got a question for you, because we've talked about your siblings and everything that's going on. Your mom with the big bouffant, your dad with missing legs. how often were you and all your siblings, like, how many years were they all together to where it was like a Brady Bunch thing
And-
where, like,
I think that around when I was about third or fourth grade, I remember I remember having a dream that Larry was moving, and then I woke up and then I heard Larry. So I don't know, maybe but Larry was moving, and it was like a really happy occasion.
like moving
'Cause-
out?
Yeah, I think
Like
David
Greg,
moved
Greg
out.
upstairs in the attic, Greg Brady in the attic, or like
Yeah,
gone?
yeah, like but Greg Brady with orange hair and violence. Yeah.
Not a bead curtain and a,
Yeah,
and a leather vest.
Not,
and you know,
not
a lot
Johnny
of
Bravo.
no,
Yeah.
a lot of it, yeah, no, not Johnny Bravo at all. He fit the suit, but a lot of it was my mom was fucking a weird, Well, they should have been kicked to the curb, maybe, but she was a weirdo about it and wanted them to go to church, and there was that shit, and those guys would like fuck you, and then my old man would get all fired up, but he was crippled, so he couldn't do anything about it except stern looks when they came downstairs or whatever. But it was like that was where it was like a lot of bullshit that went on. And now if I would have, if I had an adult voice, I would have just said, Mom, shut the fuck up. It's just smoking weed. It's so they can fucking put up with this bullshit. Go on downstairs. There ain't no skunk anywhere. You're stupid.
She spent years looking for that skunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're all
I
over
went
the
looking for it
place.
too. I went down and
You boys get under the house and find those
and then
skunks.
somebody's smoking weed and there's a skunk in the house. Well, I'm gonna go with it. I got ripped off on the weed. That's supposed to smell that fucking bad.
Yeah, I think I found a picture of Larry in his orange hair.
Oh, Greg Brady.
Oh, where the fuck did it go?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Larry with
That's when he
Larry.
bought Bobby's. He bought Bobby's hair conditioner and
Oh,
put it
yeah,
on his hair,
yeah.
and it turned his hair blonde.
Oh, you know what
That's
I
gotta
don't-
be it.
I was thinking of those from the Brady Bunch. Those were your exact
Maybe
words?
Peter.
Yeah, what was that? Bobby wanted to go to the drive-in, or those were your exact words. So you got to be careful with your exact words. Fuck that. There ain't no exact words anymore. You can just say, I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. Well, okay, well, whatever, man.
Do you have it on tape? Yeah, I do. Fuck you.
Fuck
Doesn't
you.
matter.
Yeah, how do I know that ain't a deep fake? Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, I'd settle for something that, people, like 60% of people agreed on one reality. It would be cool. Like, that's the problem. It's like, oh yeah, you got that hair, and then he was like, I can't go to school looking like this. People will think I'm cool. Yeah, he freaked out that he was fucking
Come
finally
on
gonna go
back,
to school
baby.
looking like fucking Kurt Cobain-esque fucking. Yeah. I thought it was more orange. That's just kind
Sorry,
of
I was
blonde.
gone from. I was gone for a minute. I just got back.
We're used to your equipment failing.
Hey, easy, Andy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I am having some issues. It may
I'm
have
sorry
been
about that.
like, foreshadowed in that last episode where it stopped and started again. So just let you know, if I drop out, then I'm just gonna have to reboot the system. But just so you know.
Mhm.
Your mic sounds like it's cutting in and out, Shaylee.
Oh, see, okay, so maybe that's it. You guys hold the fort down. I'll be back.
What do you guys want to talk about? I wonder when Greg's coming back. Maybe the three awkwards that don't have anything to talk about without the fourth. In my shit, I would have followed him and yelled at him or something. Hey man, I hope you're happy. I spilled my lunch. You faggot. But
He probably would have been.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't need any more of that, It could have been a Proud Boy, It could have been some fucking. I'm Antifa. I'm
Yeah.
trying to eat rice and beans like a libetard, and this guy's cutting in, breaking the law, cutting in. It's like the lane clearly says you're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to go straight, not turn left. And what does he do? He turns left,
Wait.
and that's what I was doing.
Wait a minute.
There's no hypocrisy in any of Andy's stories. I've decided
I
that.
love it.
We're
I
just gonna
love it.
pretend they're
It's just
not.
amazing.
They're not
you
hypocritical at all.
You can't turn left there. It's
I
for
was.
going straight. That lane was for going straight, and he did it, and that's
What I've
what I
said
was
is
doing.
the person I hate the most is the guy who's doing exactly what I'm doing at the same time. Like, what are you like the other day I went to the post office and it's like, I wasn't gonna mask up because it's like after hours and nobody's there. And then some asshole this was right after the debates, and some asshole probably watched the debates and thought like I thought, I'll swing by and grab the mail. I was like, fuck. And then I had to stand out there and then fumble for a mask. And what a fucking douchebag. And he's probably not that bad of a guy or whatever, but I fucking was mad. And if he would have looked at me and said, "What's your problem?" we would have had some problem, Yeah, my problem is you being here, you fucking dick. What time did you leave your place to get here exactly when I got here? Because fuck you. It's annoying.
And
So
as
you have
irrational as
issues with.
that sounds, I fucking understand 100%. I can, to this day, I don't understand how people can live in an apartment with like strangers that you have to interact with on a daily basis. I could never.
Yeah.
I just could never. I'm fortunate that I've been able to just not have to do that because I would never make it at all.
Yeah, I don't like that
just
kind of shit.
And I know it's not rational, but it's fucking just the way I am.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's like, like if you're going,
You're not a people person.
I remember it happening and being a part of the other side of it. Like you're going to Dairy Queen to get at something, and then a school bus pulls up and you're not quick enough, and all of a sudden the empty restaurant fills up with 100 fucking shrieking assholes. And you can eat their guts. Like, you fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
Not because, you hated them before that. It's just because they're fucking ruining your little thing. And that happened to me. I was going to go get tacos, and then I saw 5 guys walking fast. They got Frisbee disc golfs over at Play It Again Sports, and they were walking fast, and I couldn't cut them off. And they got in there, and it's like, now I'm not even going to eat here. Fuck this. Now I got to wait for these assholes who didn't exist a second ago. And then all of a sudden I saw them too late. Yeah. I can't be in a nursing home.
Oh, man. It's got to be exciting to be you, man.
It's just, it's a bummer, man. Try to save a bird, try to get some tacos. Not everything works out. A lot of it's just
yeah. Your Yum Bowl had the same result as the bird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't eat the bird. I didn't take a couple of bites out of the bird.
Well, but the bird spilled his rice everywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
The bird hit the windshield.
What I admired about him? He had a clear vision and he went for it. Unfortunately, it was a really clean window, and it bashed his fucking brains in. And the last thing it saw with his one good eye was me going, "I'm sorry, man. You should have wore a helmet. You can't be flying around like that, little fella. We'll get you over here."
Yeah.
And I put him down. And it was still warm. And then I put a little flour on it, and then I forgot about it. And I came back, and then it was all stiff and dead.
Like a memorial?
Creepy. So, I mean, it wasn't creepy when it was alive, but it was like, if I had arranged it like that dead, that's a little fucking
serial killer.
Yeah. If I was my parent, I would want to have a conversation about what's going on.
Yeah, we got to talk to.
I noticed John Wayne the guinea pig was put in a little tuxedo. He's wearing a Johnny West action figure hat.
Fuck you.
Oh my god.
I'm feeling good about my drinking again.
Good.
I'm drinking.
Coming right into the season for it.
This is what a lot of those guys who quit drinking can't do. It's like ease back into it. I'm treating it like I'm stepping into a hot bath, and I'm not going to just fall down head first and shit myself and cause a bunch of friends to not want to talk to me. I'm just going to get that other foot in there and see how that feels.
Nice and
It
easy.
says slow-mo relapse. You just kind of ease it in.
Slow-mo relapse.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to hit the wall, Dale Earnhardt. You can kind of, actually work your way over.
And just brush it.
Yeah, just one more left turn, man. Your whole
One
career,
more. I
one
know.
more, wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Could have been a winner.
We just lost our base. No.
The only time I drink is when I interact with other people. When I go days, all the days in between interacting with other people, I don't drink.
But you
by
can
myself.
what I forgot about it is microdosing. And people, look at that guy and all those movies about a jury and that guy taking a nip off his flask. But that's
That
just
is
microdosing booze.
Uh,
It's like I'm not getting shitty drunk, but I'll take 4 or 5 slugs of rum when I'm stressed out.
The
And
maintenance
that might
drink.
be in
Yeah.
front of people. But that's
I
hey,
think
man.
I did this joke already. Remember when we were talking about micro huffing?
Was
Last week.
I don't.
Yeah.
A week ago today.
I forget a
But I
lot
was
of
talking-
shit, and especially that night, I remember nothing from that fucking entire night. I've been drinking with stand-up that
Yeah.
whole
I had
day.
a
So.
this is weird though, because me too, all the time. And so now I don't know, like I really have a bit about drinking as like that's my micro dosing. Everyone else in LA gets to micro dose mushrooms or weed, but just a wee bit of whiskey is that's my micro dosing.
Yeah.
It's just to get to take the edge off and be creative.
Yeah.
It's a lie,
Well,
but
microdosing isn't exclusive to hallucinogens. It could be sweets, cupcakes. It could be anything to get you through to the next hour or the next half day.
Ralphie May eventually microdose burritos.
Exactly.
I think he was macro dosing eventually.
Can't microdose an El Grande Jefe burrito.
Yeah. Those are
I
some big cans
microdose
to
weed.
fill. Yeah.
As compared to California, I guess, on fire, I guess. Fucking, that's how much I microdose
I'm
weed.
looking forward to in a matter of days or maybe a week, if I can last that long, is harvesting weed plants. Which I've got 5 of them.
You're gonna have to take some pictures for us and show us your work. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I'm very impressed with you.
Those John Mink ones were shit when he gave them to me, and they never got very big, but they got big buds on them. So, John Mink, I know you're not paying $5 to listen to the after hours party. You're a fucking really annoying fucking dude.
Is that your thank
But
you,
thanks for the
Andy?
weed.
That's a weird thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I had to thank you at the end.
No, he's annoying because he calls me like it's like the same thing I was talking about earlier when people, but it's like sometimes I'm just in a shit mood and then the phone will ring and then I'll go, wow, God damn it. And it's always Mink in the order.
How do you answer it?
I don't, but I just get mad at people. It's like,
You
what?
just get
Fuck.
angry that someone calls you.
Yeah, I got legs and I can move around, but I am basically turning into my old man. Just fucking, railing against the wind.
I definitely am grateful that the only people that have my phone number do not bother me.
Yeah,
at all.
Chad,
I don't ever have.
He's giving us that. He's letting us know.
let us know.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna call you, dude.
No. I always, I have a couple of. I'll tell you what. I have way more group texts than I ever fucking thought I would have in my life at this point.
That's true.
Or that you would say group text.
Yeah, I never even knew there was such a thing, and then now I have several with different groups of people. Yeah.
You were a lone wolf, but now you're part of a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdos.
Yeah, we're group texting.
A pack, but he sleeps in his own cave.
Yeah.
Texting
he's accessible, but he's not in the group the whole time. He'll be
but
there.
We know where he is, and we know how to access him when we need him. When we need his particular skill set.
Fire up the chat.
Yeah. Well, also, you don't want to fucking sleep as a pack or hang as a pack. You want one of the wolves walking the perimeter, and that's our Chad Shank wolf. Yeah. He's working the perimeter while we fucking nuzzle up with our drug problems.
I kind of like that
Comfy.
this is the group where you can work the perimeter, but you can also get invited to the drug problem in the
Oh, I
bathroom
thought-
Yeah,
too.
you can
So,
still be in the party tent.
Yeah, we'll just put a mannequin up for security.
It's a lot like a blender. A lot of times that stuff on the perimeter gets sucked right down into the middle.
Yeah. Eventually, it works its way down to the blades
Sort it out.
or
does.
rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just because it's at the top of your yum bowl doesn't mean that's how it's going to end up.
So true. So true.
I've had so many yum bowls and they've all worked out the same way until today. I didn't think I would be banging fucking avocado down through my fucking basket and going, God damn it. While
Finger
trying to
fucking
drive.
your
Fingering
car.
your
I
avocado.
was still trying to merge while it's like this fucking guy, and he had no instincts. Like I was gonna shoot a gap, and this guy had no business doing what I do. I'm like cleaning it up, and then I'm like, fuck, I
a
have
young
to go.
bowl of like with the I see Andy with like chopsticks and pho, like trying to drive.
Yeah,
With
it's where
the chopsticks and the spoon.
Oh,
So he's trying to like, how do I do? I want to get the.
It
yeah.
was funny because it was like the very spot where this all happened was after a long time ago. I told you guys about the
Baby
Home
drop me.
Depot incident where that guy tried to
Right
punch
now.
me in the side of the face. And that's exactly the same parking lot I ended up. And I was the rage head throwing out fucking rice and beans. Where that guy tried to cold cock me in the side of my head because he thought I tried to run over his fucking loser family. Anyway, I don't go over to the Delta part of town very often.
You
Listen,
wait. Do we know this
all
story?
I was
don't
doing
know.
was
I'm
trying to run
think
over.
If I've heard it.
All I was doing was running over some loser family. And
Well,
then
no,
this
no,
guy gets
listen,
all pissed
I
off
think
and thinks
I
I'm
love
trying to
that
run
he
over
glossed
his
over the
loser
fact that a
family.
guy thought he was
This
trying to
this
run
isn't
his
glossing
family
over so
over.
much as feeling like you're doing the same bit. But I
don't
took my
remember
wife
this
to a
story
haircut
either.
appointment, and she didn't know where it was. She's got vision problems, whatever. And so we drove through the Home Depot parking lot, and there was a family walking, and I drove past them, and then one of the kids stumbled into my path. And then
And
the
on
What do
parents
you
were,
mean? Wait. What do you mean? Stumbled into your path while you were driving?
yeah, but I'm going like 5 miles an hour, getting past this.
There's
You know,
no
it's a
way.
big,
Listen, Andy,
it's a
no one
fat
is driving
family.
5 miles an hour.
He's
And
He
listen,
stumbled backwards?
when I say fat,
How
they were
did-
fat inside, not I'm not talking about their interior, or maybe I don't know. My mom made me a fat shamer because my mom fat shamed herself, and she felt bad about herself, so she was always goes, "I'm just fat," or whatever. And but so I do realize but this guy was a big fat slop, and his family was overweight.
So much for progressing.
They all ate way too much. That's just, and I was just driving
Seems like
by
a
trying to
judgment
get
call, but go ahead.
over to her haircut appointment. I didn't want to be there anyway, man. And
When did Home Depot give haircuts, by the way?
it was so
That's how you tell the blind
Yeah.
person.
I don't mean to be
Yeah,
picking
go
apart
they
your
trim
story,
they
but
trip
you were
you on
taking your
prices.
wife who has a problem scene
Exactly.
to Home Depot to get a haircut. It
Oh, it
seems
was
like you're taking advantage of the fact that she can't see
But you know how the world's laid
and a
out.
bargain.
You know how
'Cause
the
you can
world's
use the
laid out.
clippers
There's a
for
Home
free.
Depot and there's a beauty salon up in a corner there. So anyway, I drove past. They yelled at
He's
me.
got her
and-
out sitting on a fucking wheelie cart in the garden center using shoe. Isn't this place pretty? Look at all the
Sir, you
fucking
should not.
flowers.
You
Yeah,
should.
so we're zipping
I
to go
don't be
get her
scared so close
thing.
to the women.
This
Come on.
family's
Wait,
this family's hauling out
no,
their big
here's
reinforced toilet
here's-
or whatever. All right, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say here's what it is. He lets her off at Home Depot. She wanders in to get her haircut. She sees a guy who's just like trying out some hedge trimmers. He's like looking at him. He's like, oh,
Oh, he's pretty
yeah,
good.
these work pretty good. And she just like sidles up next to him and sits down. Like, okay, just a couple of inches off the back.
She located. She located through echolocation the sound of shears.
She can see a little bit. She can.
She
see,
would be
just
better
sees
at
the-
that. She's like
Sorry,
a
we're
bat.
making
She's like
fun
a
of your
bat.
kind wife.
She knows how far I am by sound
Not very kind
vibrations.
of-
But so anyway, I didn't almost hit this kid or nothing,
Sorry.
but this family, I hear them yelling, And I like just turned the music up. I'm trying to get her, dump her off her appointment. And so I didn't even say anything. And then I go over to that, dump her off. And then as I'm pulling out, and it's one of those, it's a tight thing. And then I see this fat dude in his big orange shirt, and he's waddling up towards me. And I could tell, this guy's fucking wants some trouble. And then I see the parking lot open up. So I pull up, and I know this he's fucking mad at me. It's like, but I didn't almost hit anybody anyway. So I pull up.
He was mad for no reason.
I feel like you're on trial.
That's what I feel like. I feel like
right
he overreacted, but he left his family, and he waddled. He's a big fat stallion or whatever, and he fucking poured himself about a couple hundred yards to go confront me, who I just dropped off blindo at her haircut appointment, and this guy, he's like coming up.
She's not a clown.
Right.
And blindo? I don't know if that's very sensitive.
No, I know. I can't think of. I can't. I'm not good with names.
I remember when this podcast used to be sensitive about such things. And now we're just
not good with names.
Blindo.
So, but this guy, he's got a big fucking gut, and he's wearing an orange fucking, like he's a construction guy.
The kid?
The family's probably
No, the
eating
kid
snacks.
was dead.
Family's eating
The kid
snacks in
got
the car. The
addled.
old man goes, "I'll go see about this guy or whatever." It's the Trump world or whatever. But he comes over, and I've got my window down, and this guy's standing, and he's like getting ready to fucking. I could tell he's telegraphing he's going to punch me in the side of the head. And I could see the field opening up, and I go, "What's the problem, you big fat faggot?" And he swung and punched.
Andy, Andy, hold on. You said those exact words.
Pretty much, yeah. I might have said something. I might have improv something in
Like,
there,
you
but
may have said something more inflammatory.
what's the problem, you big fat faggot? Yeah, that was pretty much it. And he swung. He was swinging before I even got to the faggot.
Oh, wow.
He was swinging, and I gunned it. And so he was going to punch me in the side of the face. Instead, he punched the back side of the car. He missed because I gunned it. I saw that one car was backing out, it opened, and that's why I said it. Otherwise, I would have, fucking leaned over to the passenger side, and because he would have cold cocked me. He had a lot of weight behind it.
Your window was down.
The window was down. And then I drove up a ways,
Walking
and
from the left over
he
across to the right.
He punched my car, and then I parked. I drove up far enough, and then I go, "Come on, you fucking cunt!" And I'm not putting up with this shit. I'm ready to go. And then
But Andy, you got out of the car and said, "Let's go."
I drove far
down,
enough.
let's do this.
He was over
A little ways away. You want to gas him before the fight starts.
Right, exactly.
You keep moving.
I know he yelled it while he drove away.
Know your opponent. And he was a fat guy.
Come here, I got something for you. Chad, I love you. I love your tips. Come over here, motherfucker.
He was already gassed just to get to where he threw the sucker punch that hit my car, and it put a good dent in it.
Sucker punch.
Yeah, it was. He was going to throw the punch whether I said anything or not. I just wanted to juice the situation. So I go, all right, you fat, I pointed out his situation.
Fat faggot is what you said.
Yeah. And I knew he was representing his family, so calling him a faggot would cut him. And he swung, he put a dent in my car, and he had to fuck up his hand because he put a solid dent in the car in a spot that was solid metal. And then I drove a ways, and I got out, and I go, like, "Come on, you fucking cunt, let's go." And then he started, fast walk to a jog to
towards you.
Yeah, towards me, and then I just laughed and got in my car. And then,
peeled out.
Did you keep doing it like you're gonna pick him up, give him a ride, and then as soon as he catches up,
I was laughing
just
pretty
keep
hard.
doing that till he has a heart attack.
Man, I knew, he thought we were gonna fight. In my mind, I knew we weren't gonna fight. I knew unless my car, somebody blocked my car, we were gonna fight at all. And even I will run from a fat guy because they have a lot behind their punches.
Yeah, I don't want to fight anybody.
If a large person wants to fight me, let's let's do a fucking half of, let's run a half a mile first, and then
And
do
the
some fence
I
climbing.
have been the big fat faggot on the other end of that exact story,
There's
and I
Andy.
want you to know that you did the right thing. You got to. They're only gonna chase you so far. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
But that guy, Chad. Conversely, that guy goes, "Oh yeah, being a big fat fucking faggot like Andy called him." He goes, "Oh, I'm in. I want to fight this guy." He
Yeah.
turned and walked towards Andy. That guy was ready to fight you, Andy.
He was like a grizzly
Yeah.
bear galloping towards a fucking salmon, and I was like, "Fuck you, man! I'm swimming out of here." And then, but here's the thing: is I drove.
By the way,
I would have chased you away from your car and then destroyed your fucking car while you
Yeah,
could
but-
just fucking stay on the perimeter and watch. Like, fuck. I can't even get over there and defend my fucking shit. Oh, he's getting my drive destroyed.
Oh, no, not the thing. Oh, that's
I just bought those tires.
Darn it.
But-
I
but
got that.
Here's the shitty part though, is I drove off and had some good laughs, and I went up the road and
All
went.
that counts.
I took the next exit
Yeah,
like you did.
No,
I
but
always
then
feel
he
like
then he remember. I'm waiting for you to remember that you have to go back to pick up your wife.
right. That's
At
what
Home
happened.
Depot for the haircut.
It's funny to be a couple exits away from trouble, but then you go, because he saw, he was coming up when I was like, okay, I'll be back in a bit, and then this all happened like seconds later, and then I drove off laughing. His hand was probably bloody, and he's all upset, and he turns around and he goes into that salon and he starts yelling, like, who's with the blue Subaru? And then my better half announces that she is, and she's thinking that there's been somehow some sort of accident. I didn't tell her anything about a fatty chasing none of that was going on. It's just that
she hadn't seen the near.
None of it
miss
happened.
with the
None of it
family.
happened. Well, she just this, I could tell the family was agitated, but I wasn't like driving through that thing. I was like, fuck them. And then I drove, like you do. And it's like, but I always know, oh, I don't know. I mean, he had an orange shirt, so don't go try to sucker punch somebody in the most fucking loud fluorescent orange shirt if you're.
So
especially
what did he say when he went after he announced who was with the blue Subaru and your wife said
he
she
said
was?
your husband almost killed my daughter. Which was great. The only thing that could have killed her is I knocked her milkshake out of her hand or something. She was a Tubby, and I was going 4 miles an hour, and Tubby was going slow and cut like like a kid does, just blindly all of a sudden goes another direction, and that's what she did. And I locked the thing up and
darted out in front of you.
If it was another driver, I can't say that kid would have lived.
Back in the day, if your kid did that, you would yank your kid back and yell at your kid for darting out in front of another driver.
Your
Not go
Honor,
accuse the other driver.
If I could take a moment of the court's time.
Yeah.
Clearly, if this man was close, this fat faggot was close enough, using the words of the defendant, if he was close enough to swing at the car, then weren't they far enough into the road that this driver was negligent in that he should have given way to the pedestrians who were more than halfway across because he was already in progress?
Yeah, they should have been walking. They should have been walking single file. They were taking
all
up
the
a
way
lane
across
of road.
the parking lot to hit the car.
They were overbreeders. There was too many of them.
So
and they were
where
taking up a lane instead of walking single file like you do, they had their cart and they were spread out. So I jumped past.
You were.
But Andy,
you were driving.
Good.
Wait a minute. You were driving. Were you driving through the parking lot where everyone, like the actual wherever people
right
park,
in front of the
or
store.
were you on the lane in front of the business
just
where
dropped
it's
off
two
twice.
lanes and
No,
people
I
are
had- there were
crossing?
two lanes
You were
in front of
in
Home
the
Depot.
you were in the cars.
There's two lanes, and this family poured out and took up a whole lane. So I jumped past them, and then so they're like, instead of walking, you come out as a family, you should like be like too wide, and they were all too wide in themselves, and then they went fucking like a line. Yeah, like they're doing an album cover or something. It's like fucking, you know. So I jumped past. I could have been patient and waited till they fucking lumbered or sloshed into their fucking vehicle or whatever. But I jumped past them because I wanted to get things out. You know, I want to get things
So,
going.
so you tried to shoot the gap between fat people.
Yes.
I went around
That's
them,
what
but-
I'm
No,
gathering.
he went around them all. He went
And then they
around them
got-
all.
yeah,
He went
and when-
around all of them, right?
Oh, he
Yeah,
zipped
and when I went
around
around them,
the
He hit
last
the
Yeah.
one,
side.
the
and when I
tail
went
one.
around them, that's when they got whiter by one kid jumping out. And then
That's their
you know,
kid's
see,
fault. I'm
no,
on your side.
and listen,
Kid's
and I
fault.
called him a fat faggot. That was wishful thinking. Because if he was a fat faggot, there wouldn't have been all them kids blocking my path,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't have been on all on some goddamn diet that's obviously not natural. What the fuck, man? You know, if all your kids are fat and they're all different ages, something's going wrong in the kitchen.
Well, come on now. Let's be honest here,
That's
Andy.
true.
Adoption is a
Hey.
thing that is open to many different kinds of families. It's not the traditional family.
You know,
There could be a lot of things.
Well,
being
there's
fat
a lot of
is
scenarios.
being fat
Yeah.
is a sign of success in a lot of other
A
cultures.
lot of cultures. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's
well,
true.
being fat and being a kid in
Big-
Nebraska and developing strength around it, but just being fat, that ain't a thing, is it? You know, like big fucking strong,
I
big
feel like you
and
need a
strong.
whiteboard
You
with
know?
erasers, magnetic erasers as cars to try and figure out.
And I've
where
sold some.
everyone
I've
was.
sold some couple
So,
some big shirts. I've sold a few
so
big. And I'm not
let
a
me-
size. I don't dislike heavy people. And this guy sent me a thing, and he didn't include his size, and he's in Tennessee. And I was like, I was gonna, and he sent his size was double XL, and I was like, I was
yeah,
gonna
I was
go
gonna
ahead
say.
and guess based on your
Guess it.
location.
That's
I am kind of a,
funny.
yeah,
yeah,
for
but
big people.
yeah, I like big people. Brittany's sister wants a large shirt, and she's got big kazambas, big melons or whatever. And I had to judge. I'm not like a good.
All this shit.
To
You
use a
just called
medical
the guy a
term.
big. You just called the guy a big fat faggot, but you decided to change tits because I'm a.
big fucking melons or whatever. And then it's like, well, is this size or this size? And it's like, I put on a large and then or a medium, and then I tried to shove a football under my shirt, and I could not do it. So I went with a large.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm
that's
not a good.
pretty-
They like
you
them
know?
tight.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
You're going to be running a pretty tight operation up there pretty
Well, I
soon,
like
I
it when
think.
they-
It's
Clearly,
the
it's
learning-
running so
So
smooth.
I don't-
You're-
I-
Look, you got to learn. You got to make your mistakes. You know, you just got to start doing it. How do you learn to be a t-shirt company? By becoming a t-shirt company. That's how you do it.
I want to be
I
the Mr.
support-
Pillow of shirts.
I think you should use you with the football shoved in your shirt as the model picture of the shirt.
Absolutely. That's like brilliant.
The-
That's a brilliant idea. That is
I have
fucking-
to. Well,
yeah,
I could definitely do it with a large. I could get a football under, but no way a medium. But I was looking around. I was actually looking in the kitchen for more suitable tits.
So,
I thought I got a football.
I have a question for you about the
Yeah.
previous incident. About there it is.
There's
I have
your
a Andy-
advertisement.
I have a question, Andy, about your Home Depot parking lot situation. Now, the guy is inside the salon yelling at your wife, saying that her husband almost killed his
Out of
family.
control.
Killed my daughter. So then what happened next?
They did. There was a. They just chased him out of there. There was a
Oh,
couple.
really?
Of
He
so
left.
you need to leave here, sir.
And you,
Yeah, 'cause
you
he didn't
just
have.
heard.
He didn't have an appointment, and he didn't look like he fit in the salon de lounge. You know, you can tell sometimes when somebody stepped in the wrong business, especially when they're fucking angry and yelling shit. So he didn't belong in salon de lounge, and they recognized that right away. And then he started getting, you know, he was he wasn't he lost his cool when he started following my car.
But it's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be funny looking back on it now to have that crestfallen moment where you pull away from him and you go, "Hey, fuck you, cunt! Let's go, let's fight!" And then you jump back in your car and you take off and you're laughing. And then you look in the rearview rear view mirror and you see him go into the salon where you just
Into the-
dropped off.
I didn't
where you
know
just
that.
dropped off
And
your
you know
wife.
you have to
I
go
gotta go
back
back.
there.
No, if I knew that, I would be brilliant. You know, I'd be like, holy shit, passive aggressive murderer, like, you know, Charlie Manson, just smear up some walls and shit. But no, I didn't realize that. And I was just like loitering basically at Fred Meyer's, just walking around. I wasn't even buying anything, but waiting, killing that 45-minute for the haircut. And then about towards the end of it, I started thinking, oh, I wonder if he saw where I dropped. And then I didn't. Occurred to me late in the game. Way
You
late.
spent 30 minutes oblivious that
Yeah,
he
I was
might
happy
have
about it. Even though he dented
gone
my
right
car,
into the
Happy
salon.
with
You
his
didn't see it
performance.
happen.
he dented my car, but he dented it in a way that it was like a fucking, you know, it was like cool. It was like every time I looked at it, I was like, man, that guy had to bust his hand. You
You know
can't
what I love,
dent
Andy,
it.
that is the fat guy that you almost killed his kids. I love that his head was on a swivel before even anything happened. He was already scanning the lot to know where you dropped off your hard of seeing wife, your visually impaired wife. He already knew what was going on.
Yeah, well,
And
it
then he-
happened
he never got
directly, but it of
Well, he had to
course,
snap
because
like as soon as that happened. He had to
but-
start following the car, and I didn't pay attention to it. Otherwise, I would have saw a
Right.
large man in an orange shirt, fucking walking
Right.
fast behind me, and then I
That's
would have
what
hit
I
the brakes
mean.
and let him hit me. You fucking rear-ended me, motherfucker. My wife's got whiplash. Get out of the car and act hurt.
Wait, I thought you dropped her off first. Did I hear you?
No,
No,
she
no.
was still in
Yeah,
the
now-
she was
yeah.
still in the
I
car
get it now. All right.
when the
No.
incident happened with the family, and then he went and dropped her off while this guy is chasing him.
I didn't
he
know
makes
that.
a drop
Yeah.
off.
It was a lot easier to convince her that he didn't almost kill one of the kids.
Driving around and
She
telling
can't
us
see
it's
shit,
longer to get
so-
there than usual, honey. You
Yeah.
could just
Yeah. Yeah. And if she had anything to say, I'm like, you want to drive? You know, I've never said I was a great driver, and people go, you know, sometimes I'm inattentive, and sometimes I'm scary, but it's like, I'm not scary to me. I know, you know,
neither was Hitler.
yeah.
Andy and I drove probably, I don't know, a couple thousand miles on a tour of the Northwest a couple years ago. And I picked him up at his house after driving all the way up from Los Angeles. And then he drove to Portland. And that hour drive was so fraught with terror for me sitting in my passenger seat that even though I had not slept, I'm like, we gassed up and I'm like, I got it, bro. I'm going to take over from here. And I jumped in and we drove the rest of the way up to Seattle because I was like, fuck this, dude.
Well,
Yeah, it's an
it ain't for
experience,
everybody, you know.
riding a car with
Yeah.
you. It is. You have to be.
Everyone
you need a
should
Xan-
be
it needs
blind
the. It,
that drives
it
with-
should
that-
come
that
with a
passenger
Xanax.
Andy.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Blind would help.
Yeah, and imagine if I didn't
Blind
smoke
would help.
weed, you know, because I get, you know, I get other people and they're honking and all that shit, you know. It's like,
Andy, you get a lot of honking, do you?
I don't do. I almost never
For
honk.
no reason.
No, I
Shaylee.
know.
They just
Why would
honk
you
at me
honk?
for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, I get
I
honked
don't
at.
do
Sure.
nothing.
But you
It's
know,
the old Gallagher bit where Gallagher said everyone should just get like a bunch of stickers that say asshole. And when someone fucking does something shitty, you throw it on the car. And then a cop sees a car with 700 asshole stickers on it. They pull him over. Andy, you're the guy who never gives out an asshole sticker.
I did. Well, I did sell car magnets that said I drive like a cunt. I didn't sell many of them. I sold a few of them. Because I wasn't a good salesman, you know. That was a gem. I could have sold 1 million of those.
By the way, guys, I do want to say this right now. I do have Andy's his shirts are for sale. It's helping him with his with the production on Last Shot, and I did find a website, and well, I'll put it up right here.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
yeah, see?
this is the link.
There
Well,
you go.
that's what
perfect.
happens when you leave
Who
James
said-
Inman in charge of things. Is you have to fucking regroup. James Inman lost more domain names, you know. Anyway, yeah, but I
It's now while they last.
that's all. I
Who-
can't
who
afford.
s-
Here's the problem.
Who
I
said
can't.
Andy's bad at marketing? Not me.
I don't
Yeah.
have that.
Hey.
I
I take
have
it
a
back.
name that there's not that many Andy Andrus, but I can't afford my own name. You know, I have to buy it from the Koreans, and they're fucking, they're good business people.
Andy,
I don't know.
you know people that know how to do this stuff, though, right?
So it's kind of a sign of success, Andy, if you think about it, because somewhere in Korea, someone's like, Andy Andres, get the AndyAndres.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Showed up.
Yes.
A
Well,
lot of
Yeah.
hits.
$1.99 on GoDaddy.
I think a lot of it is analytics. I don't think they
Analytics.
analytics. They're
Hey.
like, whatever this
I
is.
just checked, and naturejack.com is available.
All right, I'll buy it. Hold on.
That would work. It is.
It says I tried it, and it said nothing came up. It said name's not found.
Called Nature Jack.
The Georgians or whatever are going to buy it. There's somebody who listens to our podcast from Georgia, and I thought it was like Atlanta, and it's the country of Georgia.
That's better.
Yep.
Worldwide.
So if we ever want a tour, start in Georgia.
We get started.
We'll be the
Toblitsk.
the devil went over to Georgia, looking for some souls to amuse.
Yeah. Oh.
What a lovely night. The cricket's going. The edibles doing
I like
its
hearing
job.
that.
I've got just the proper.
Good for you.
There's a kid down here. I call them the Louds, and they got their fucking dumb dog that I yell at. And then the kid has a recorder. Is that what
Wait,
those
the
things are called?
Basset Hound?
Yeah, but the kid, one of the fucking kids, has an intermittent recorder. Like it could be a recorder that you blow for 5 minutes at a time, but it's just like every 4 or 5 minutes. Look, like I want to yell at the kid like I do the dog when nobody's home.
It's
You're talking about the thing that like kids learn how to play music.
Yeah, but it's like
recorder.
it's not like a kid learning to play it. It's like a fucking dumbass blasting a horn every 5 minutes. That's what's going on, and I want to, I'm pretty comfortable with yelling at the dog when nobody's home. Like if I yell, knock it off, you're talentless or something. I don't know if they're renters or they, own the place.
Learning the recorder, there's nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
Having that happen near you.
Yeah,
it's actually a good way to learn to train your ear. So
it is.
Not to be nerdy.
I see why I was terrible at it because I could never stand listening to it long enough to do it.
I'm still trying to imagine what the fuck it possibly is going on where someone would just blow one note in a recorder every fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah. Everything that family does is above fucking volume, They're always on 9 or 10 and they need to be like on 2.
The worst. That's the worst.
If and then the guy's on a motorcycle too.
It's my biggest complaint about being in West Hollywood. I've never lived in a city before, so I still fucking love it overall. But if the garbage truck comes by here once a week, it comes by here 6 times a fucking day. It's unbelievable. And then guys leaf blowing across the street a 3 foot wide strip of grass twice a week. Leaf blowing. Like what the
back
fuck?
and forth.
Well, the Russian and now his neighbor. So now they have like a little war going on, and we're like across the street. We're like the Syrian refugees of this leaf blowing war because we're the only ones who are being put out by it. It's loud as fuck. And it's ridiculous. And it's noise. It's the noise. It's the noises that are too loud that make you start to question your own sanity and start to make you like really rage on the inside, at least for me.
I can't even relate to. I've always just been really lucky with like space, but we moved here. We have an acre. Everybody out where I'm at has an acre of land. And Jenny said when we first moved here, she's never set any sort of rule or limitation for me as long as we've ever been married. But she told me, she said, you cannot have conflict with neighbors at all. No conflict with neighbors. And I'm like, all right. And then right away, one day, my neighbor fucking talking to him over the fence, and he's like, "Hey, I saw your wife out here working in the yard wearing some shorts, And I'm like, fucking, I want to murder him, and I can't do anything at all. And then another time, like the kids The neighbor accused my kids of throwing rocks at his dog, I guess, and
yeah,
they might
yeah.
have been throwing rocks at his
Yeah.
dog, but
But still,
he came out and he told them that if they're throwing rocks at his dog, he's going to shoot them.
yeah.
And the kids are
I
like, "Hey,
remember you.
yeah, did I tell you this one?
Yeah.
So I
Don't
strapped
threaten
up
to shoot my kid.
I strapped up a pistol and asked him, "Are we talking about shooting people?" Jenny's like, "Stop it, get him." You can't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I
not,
can't
it's not
imagine.
going to be a
I
conflict.
can't imagine
It's gonna be
having to
over.
put up with people on a regular basis, over and over, bumping up against other people. I just couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I feel
deal
pretty
with
good
it.
at-
I'd be in prison.
I lost my space upstairs, so I got some of the stuff I don't know what to do with, and I got that crossbow. It's in my car, and the arrows are in there. And I feel,
The
it's something
bolts?
about it. Yeah, I driving around with a fucking fully loaded cross. Well, it's not loaded or anything, but it wouldn't take long if somebody's giving me shit to go, hold
Give
on,
me a
man.
minute. Hold
Yeah.
on. Give me
Yeah,
a minute.
you want to sucker punch
Time
me?
out.
Hold on, let me crank this thing up.
Hold on, he's throwing
Car!
shit over his shoulder.
I can't
We've all
remember
seen
where the
Andy look
safety
for
is,
shit
but
in his car.
Yeah. He's rifling through shit.
But it's like,
Where's the arrows?
if somebody
Uncovers his bike.
it's like, I don't, I'm guessing, like if anytime somebody wants to fight you, it's just knowing you're going to be okay, confidence. But yeah, I do know what, like traveling around with a crossbow, it does, like, I'm not going to get in any trouble, but it's like, oh yeah, got the crossbow.
That doesn't. What,
Oh,
how
like
is that any solace?
That's
Andy?
reassuring, Shaylee. That's reassuring.
I
Well,
guess.
I get end up on a fucking road and then there's a Proud Boy fucking surge going on. I'd like to have something.
It
I don't wanna be
definitely
empty-handed.
increases the odds of you being in a headline with the Antifa as a part of the headline.
That
I am-
would be
I am
fun.
a
Antifa
part-
man with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Is,
I am Antifa. I have that batting
Face
helmet
of
I wore to the riot, and I got a Sharpie pen, and I wrote Antifa on it. And I
Oh,
understand the
shit.
membership fees are basically nothing. So all I
That's
got
Oh.
Yeah.
it. No, you're
is
in.
wear that hat and not
Oh,
like
oh.
fucking fascism.
it's,
The only
it's the
step
same
you
as
have to do after
anonymous.
that.
You decide you're
Yeah.
in, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, you wear your Antifa stuff around, protest long enough. Someone will talk to you, and then you'll be hooked up with George Soros,
Well, here's
so
the
that
thing.
you can get your so you can start
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
your paycheck.
Entitlement.
But you just gotta wait for them
Your
to come
subsidy.
up to you.
Here's what I
Yeah.
didn't know about
They'll
the Proud
they'll
Boy
find-
movement until this morning. I did a little reading on it, and well, I knew they were angry, and but they also are against jerking off.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh.
so, like, okay,
You
man,
can only
Celibate thing?
jerk off once
Well,
a month.
am
Not
I-
getting
that's
laid
what
and not
nature
jerking
jacking-
off. That's a
Yeah,
bad
that's what
combination.
nature
man.
jacking is for exactly. You wouldn't
That's
be a
Sharia
Proud
law,
Boy.
man.
If you could, yeah, if
Yeah.
you were a Proud
That's-
Boy and you nature
that-
jacked, you'd calm the fuck down.
Right.
You don't hold all that
That's-
shit, If
that's
you're
the
in a
point,
group
though.
of dudes that's worried about
That's
what
it.
you jerk off or not,
That's
it's not a cool group.
No,
that's a
it's
known
not a cool-
recipe for terrorism. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I was a
yes,
Boy
but
Scout.
it's also the reason they have that rule. That's why they have it as a rule. For real. They
No jerking
want
off?
you to be pissed off. Yeah, they want you to be, they think it'll
Angry,
make you more aggressive.
frustrated.
Stay
They want
all
you
in.
to be angry and aggressive.
Can't you
It
just
gives
And
jerk
you
that's
off?
the way to
muscles
do it.
like
They don't
Popeye.
want- they don't-
What if you jerked
If
off
you
and
don't
ate
ever
your own
jerk
cum?
off,
Would
it
you
gets
still be
into your
mad?
arm.
Ah, God damn it! This tastes like salt.
You can jerk off and not come and still get the orgasm. Aren't you an edger? Haven't you ever edged?
No, fuck yeah, that's
Ugh.
nature jacking. Is a lot of times there's, I ain't worried about results. I'm just worried about the picture. Yeah. Oh, sorry, baby. This doesn't usually happen to me.
And he's become an Instagram jerker.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Sticky hands, hard hands, or whatever.
Oh, fuck.
Not even really jerking off. He's just doing it for the gram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
Dry jack and influencer.
Oh shit! All right, fellas.
Hold on a
Oh,
second.
fun.
I got something.
You do?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Buy it.
NatureJack.com.
by the time this make sure I can get this here. By the time this podcast goes out, oh shit. Hold on.
Oh,
Fuck.
no.
Oh,
Fucking Koreans.
shit.
Those dirty
God
bastards.
damn it.
Koreans got it. They
They hacked
already
it. They
snapped
hacked
it
it.
up.
They already
They were,
got it.
they were fucking. They were sitting and waiting.
Hold on. It's good. Anyway, yeah, hold on. Fuck.
Kill
I was
Charlie.
almost there.
He's
Oh,
almost
here we
there,
go.
Andy.
Here we go. God damn it.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Official.
All right. All right. We own naturejack.com.
Worked on-
And the
Yeah,
t-shirts,
man.
I'll put a link up that forwards to wherever Andy's actually selling stuff.
My
You
tubs
just-
are right here.
What?
The tubs are right here.
It's just got naturejack.com should just have map coordinates for Andy's
tub.
port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You
Wherever he
just have
happens
go
to be.
I
get a
could sell 'em.
compass and go find
Oh
that
man,
tub.
I need a t-shirt cannon.
Man.
Yeah,
Match
shoot 'em off
Andy's
of-
required.
off
Try
Yeah.
and make incrementally back.
Yeah. I know. How much is a t-shirt cannon though?
A
Those practically-
t-shirt cannon would be a
t-shirt
fun
cannon
idea.
buys itself, you know. 3 or
It
4
buys
launches.
itself.
This is the age of COVID. A t-shirt cannon is the way to go. You don't want to be getting too close to these
Yeah, yeah.
people. You need to be launching your product
You're
at them
right.
from a safe
Yeah.
distance.
Thanos should be going through the roof right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 But you know, you can't. But here's the thing: you launch a double XL at somebody who's a double XL, you might murder them. You know.
Oh, all right.
Hold on.
I'm
You guys
gonna-
can't vamp for 2 seconds? Will I get
Ooh.
this? Jesus Christ.
I'm fine. I got
Filling
this.
it up.
I got this drink is flowing.
Yeah, yeah.
beautifully.
I
All right,
I-
well, keep going. I don't care.
I
I'm
I
not
got
in any hurry.
Fresca, Sprite, and
Let's
lemon.
keep going, dude. Let me go take a leak.
Hold
I'll
on.
be right
There
back.
it is.
Here,
Everyone
let me give you
right
a
Oh, there it is.
Fill this up.
Hey.
NatureJack.com. There it is. All right.
Hey,
I'll forward if you hit
Hang
naturejack.com,
on a second.
everything will forward right to wherever Andy has finally decided to sell his t-shirts and merchandise for
4 times.
the Last Shot DVD coming out.
I look forward to sharing it widely.
I can't believe that's available.
Yeah,
Great.
that makes it easy. Thank you, Greg.
Shaylee,
Business savvy and such.
Shaylee, there should be a false front on that website about a guy named Jack who's just wants to
Like a-
help
like a
share
group
nature. And then everything is hidden in
Like
the fucking links to buy
Yeah.
everything. It looks
Like that- like the-
legit.
Like the Death Valley Days narrator. Hey,
Yeah.
you got here in Nature Jack. I can explain some good spots out
Yeah.
there in nature.
Yeah.
Trying to show
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Oh, you
We've
went
got-
home.
We've got a crazy person on the street corner yelling lunacy and prophecy out at people.
That's
passing
what
by.
I've been hearing a lot of those lately. Like people are fucking. It's kind of fun.
How come you're not out there showing us?
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
where
it was, but you guys,
Videotape.
I had to tell you what I was doing because
Yeah,
I realized
yeah,
you
we
didn't know
got
what I was doing.
we got
Yeah.
you. Got
Well, I could tell when you got into your place. I mean,
Hang
Studio A.
I believe them. I believe they're accurate. I don't believe.
I don't think you can even hear him, can you?
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's very
Barely,
distant.
barely.
It does sound like someone that you'd like.
It's
Shut
a lot
the fuck
louder
up.
here, I can tell you. And he's
Yeah.
just been out there screaming for 10 minutes nonstop. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
stage time you don't get stage time there in LA like you used to.
Yeah.
So it's probably, you
It's
know,
harder
just-
and harder to get in front of an audience.
Yeah, that might be a socially distant open mic.
Yeah.
Minus
That
the
guy's
laundromat.
he does this all over the place trying to get on people's podcast.
Uh-huh.
There he is, successful. He just
Every
got
street.
That might have been Hello Danny.
Yeah, he's your John Mink. He's out there. Yeah, no, I could probably just stop by. What if I just get in there? No, John. Mm-mm. Are we done? Erickson?
Erickson disappeared.
Yeah.
He'll be
He's very-
back.
Since they've redone that kitchen, he's very shifty. Is that his place?
That's Studio B. That's not.
That's the Scotsman.
alternate location.
No, we don't say where it's at. We just say it's
Scotland.
Studio
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you keep
alternate
saying what you're not
location.
supposed to say,
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah. 115 we can edit. I can't see for shit.
There's no editing on. I've gone back and watched. There's no editing on this podcast.
Yeah.
And this is, you can't see for shit, but it was hearing that was the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the clock.
We were worried about you, Erickson.
Oh, sorry. I said I
Yeah,
remember I
fixed
also
them.
said I had to take a leak, and then that's when I heard the guy screaming. So I went.
Gotcha.
He probably watched the
I'm
debates.
overhydrated after being at the beach. I'm overhydrating.
I'm guessing it was an undecided voter just mulling his options out there, being a little.
Don't go
On
into
one
politics.
side, Biden is clever. Man, the one thing I watched, I just watched so many times where Biden just couldn't deliver a fucking funny line that was wide open.
Oh
So
no!
many times
He missed so many opportunities.
he missed Herman
when
Cain.
Trump said,
Yeah.
I think the one I was
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah,
he
he
said,
missed
"Oh, I had these rallies, and there was no downside at all," and he missed the opportunity to say, "Oh yeah, you might want to ask Herman Cain about that."
I guess he
Yeah.
tweeted to you. And there was about 4 of them. It's like, man, and he just ain't that guy. He never was
he
that
isn't.
guy. He's Joe
I
fucking
was talking.
Campbell.
I was talking to Mitchell. I was talking to Mitchell today about it, and I was saying, lamenting the fact that if it would have been, and there are reasons why Elizabeth Warren might not get elected. That's fine. I get it. But she would have fucking destroyed Donald Trump in that debate. She would have made him cry on TV. And that would have been funny because she is smart and on her fucking game right now. A lot of other people would have too. Biden's just not that guy. He's a take his time old man now.
Yeah,
you know?
he's actually way better than Hillary though.
Listen,
Like when Hillary
here's what,
delivered a line, it was so fucking clunky.
Here's the other thing about and I'm not trying to make a pitch for Biden. He was not my choice at all. But being the president, the actual job of being the president, you don't have to make a ton of snap decisions. You have to fucking take your time, talk to the people who are around you about things, and come to the best conclusion. An old person can still do that. You know what I mean? Like the way he fumbles around with the words he's trying to that's not necessarily going to affect him in the day-to-day operation of being president.
That's
you
a
know
great,
what I mean? You're not on a quiz show. You know, like
you're not making snap decisions, but
No.
you're making measured comments. You're making measured statements.
Sure.
You're thinking about what you say
and that's all.
before you say them.
Right. But just like having to be like quick with a comeback, the president doesn't have to be quick with a comeback. He doesn't have to be. So, you know, that's not even that big of that's not as big of a disqualifier is my point.
Trying to be funny, force funny. You guys know that that is a recipe for disaster.
Oh man, the worst was the Amy Klobuchar or whatever.
Klobuchar
had that clunky
Minnesota
story about the snow and Donald's hair, and I saw them. They did a smash cut of like 7 versions of it. And it was like a weak premise, and then she, like watching a comic,
tried it.
Grind away on a bad bit.
There's not a lot of open mics in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't funny.
She's on stage at Acme.
It never got funny, but she fucking delivered it as though it was a money line every time. I was like, God, yeah.
I was really.
It's the same as watching football. I just keep saying there's no preseason, so there's nobody's used to this, and it's all just going in blind.
Yeah.
And cold, yeah.
I was really contemplating doing a 30 days in the hole kind of news blackout after this debate last night. That's how frustrating it was to me to watch it.
I did too. Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't know if I can do a whole nother month of just seeing this exact same thing back and forth. It's like I
can't
just
imagine
need
doing another one.
I need the election to be now. I need this to be
We-
over with. So
you know,
I just need to go to sleep and wake up when it's happening. It's like
Yeah.
I can't fucking keep doing this.
Well, it's
It's
almost
too
like
much.
you need your
last
energy
4
for what's
years?
going to happen. You know, it's like, you know, setting it up to go, okay, well, things will be different after November 2nd. No, that's when the fucking real shit.
When
That's,
it
I mean,
really
it's
is gonna get
not gonna
yeah.
be
It's
weird.
November
That's
6th.
when the war starts.
I got a thing in the mail saying if it was already pre-printed out, my name and address. Basically, I had to sign it, date it, put it in a pre-stamped envelope, send it back in, and they send me a mail-in voting thing. I'm like, well, fuck, if you make it that easy, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's
And
what Oregon did. That's what Oregon.
Good.
So,
Actually, Chad, you can go on in Arizona, and every state is different, which is fucking crazy for a federal election. Every state is different. In Arizona, you can go to a site. I think it's Arizona.vote or something. But I can send it to you, and you can
Yeah.
say from now on, every election, I'm
That
going to
was-
get it from home.
that was what
Yeah.
this was. It was basically a pre-printed paper that just said, sign this, send it back in, and from now on,
Yeah.
we'll send you a thing.
The only thing- the only
I
problem-
don't know if I'll ever do it again, but I'll do it this year. Just
Yeah, you
because,
should.
it's what
I don't
it
know.
is.
I don't know if this
But,
is a thing, but like Oregon is so easy. Just, you know, this is boring and not fun. But you fill it out, and then you drive to a place and drop it off, and that's it. But you can't track it. Like you should be able to go back and make sure, you know, it went
That
from.
Arizona,
it
you can
went
see
in.
every
Now,
time
just-
you voted by mail, you can see who you voted for.
Oh, okay. That's that.
That's
Like
And
that
when.
tracking.
Should-
yeah,
I didn't
'cause
know that. I just found that
technology's
out.
there. Yeah, they should all do that. You should be able to go, okay, I threw it in there, and then check and go, okay, yeah, that it did
Yeah.
go through.
It went into the box.
But it's like, you
And
know,
it was
like
counted.
there's this dude who's a fucking he's a Trumpy or whatever, but he was like,
Homo Danny.
and he's an Oregon voter. He's voted in Oregon for years, and this guy is like going, well, they're trying to do this, the post office, blah blah, and he goes, there's no way they could put all them boxes up everywhere. Like, dude, you vote in Oregon, and it's a fucking mailbox. They think to
I have
say
one in
this
front of my
country.
house.
This country is limited by the ability to put a metal box every 16 blocks.
Here's
You got the Willy Nilly
Can't do
box,
it.
Andy. Maybe he's
Can't
talking
do
about
it.
that.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Maybe
it.
that's
Yeah.
it.
To make it sound like this country, you know, we only got 3 months. There's no way we could put a fucking decommissioned mailbox up.
We
to
did the
a
Berlin
collect election.
airlift to
Mhm.
fucking keep them alive.
I know.
I mean,
yeah.
we've turned
It was a
Runway
tougher
delivered-
generation, Shaylee.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd
I-
roll up our hands, and you know, when I was a kid, we didn't have a mailbox in front of our desk at school, but on Valentine's Day we made one, and we got mail delivered right there. Sometimes, if you were a douchebag or ugly, you didn't get that many, but you still made a mailbox out of scrap paper and
You don't throw up
staples.
your hands, you roll up your sleeves, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Yeah,
Good.
if all America can do is put a fucking a piece of crepe paper and staple it and put that, and that's where your ballot goes. And
God,
fucking,
yeah.
God damn it, man!
Your
Let's do it.
Valentine mailbox, the crepe
Yeah.
paper, or no, construction paper and staples.
Yeah, that was when you knew
Yeah.
you were not cool, when everybody else got Valentines and you didn't. Like I was basically Charlie Brown. Like kids, like withheld, like they made them for the class. And what's going on here, man?
And you didn't get any?
I
And
got
he
some.
was armed with the
but it was-
knowledge that he had a car coming when he
I
turned
got
16.
about a third as many as other people who got all. You know,
Aw, you
got 'em.
poor
I
kid.
don't know. Maybe
I
somebody.
think our class, I think you had to do a
I-
Valentine for everybody. Everybody
Yeah,
did a Valentine
everybody
for
had-
everybody else.
like soccer.
It was a
everybody-
fucking deal. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
when-
that was.
They were always jealous.
when I was in 4th grade, we had to do an assignment, a writing assignment. I think it was like every week, or it might have been more often than that. But it was called I likes, and it would just be a little piece of paper, and it said I like, and then you would get assigned a random kid from the class, and you would have to write something that you liked about them. And it was definitely worse than not hearing anything at all. Hearing how desperate somebody had to become to find something to
I
like
like
about
his
you.
overbite.
I like
Yeah.
him, you know.
I like
I
the
like
way
the
he
way he-
never-
talks. Like,
He must be a good listener.
yeah, it was a demeaning. It was meant to build you
Yeah.
up, but it fucking
And
sucked.
we're
If you had
opposite.
if you had any self awareness, it sucked real bad. You'd be like, oh man, they're reaching
Uh-huh.
to find something to like.
I wish I could go. I don't know why this made me think of that. And I wish I could go back and fucking coach up the last kid selected in PE to be the fucking enforcer. Like, look, man, you were picked last for a reason. You better fucking. We better win the flag football tournament, bitch.
It's the old Zachary Zween.
I think we're going
Are
back
you
to
trying
Cobra
to?
Kai.
Are you? I was gonna say, are you Cobra Kai-ing the fucking
No.
last kid?
Totally.
pick
I
PE?
think you did it.
I did. The
It's
ugly
time for a
kid.
montage.
Come on, Jimmy Johnson, fight back, goddammit. You've got so much rage in your heart. Not that Jimmy Johnson either. No. There was two kids that there were two just fucking nerds. Bobby Gunther's a fat nerd, and Jimmy Johnson was a mouthy, skinny nerd. And those two got into a fight one day in middle school, and I still look back on it as probably one of my greatest days in life. I was like, yeah, man, this is great. You know, you didn't get worked up that either of them were getting hurt. It was funny, and two unathletic
So you
kids.
just enjoyed the spectacle.
Yeah, it poured over. Mr. Patterson ran a vicious den in his PE class, and it poured over. And those two guys went at it right outside of PE. It was wonderful. I wish I could go back in time, relive that day. I don't think there was a square punch landed. It was more like two. It was like
Bunch of
watching
haymakers
watching
flailing.
two unathletic drunk chicks fight. And I'm not getting on their manhood or whatever, but both of them were pussies, and they're probably still to this day sissies.
Sissies. A sissy fight.
Hilarious.
Yeah, those are fun.
There's not enough comedy and fighting, comedy and violence. Let's put it out there and make it happen. It's fun.
Yeah, good name for a band.
I like getting drunk.
Sissy fight.
Sissy fight.
I gotta keep quiet on this, but I really miss getting drunk, and I'm gonna start doing it a lot more.
Guarantee sissyfight.com's taking shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure
I'm done
of that.
buying websites tonight.
Naturejack.com. That's great, though. We should own that. Andy, you should have that. We got that one. That's
We
you.
own it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm with, and that's the way life should be. Is what
Hey,
I'm.
but
I'm
let's not
thanking you for.
forget what the Koreans have done, and the Sherpa community they've rallied their
It's
haters.
because it happened because you had AndyAndrus.com
There
at
was
one
some
time and you let
traction
it go
there, yeah.
lax.
Honestly, I feel like Sherpas have seen me on a ladder and they're
It's
jealous.
happened to me too because I lost Brett Erickson.
Oh, there they are.
No,
Sure.
that's yours. I got the wrong one. I gotta find the other one.
I don't know how to regroup on this, but
Don't even try.
Yeah, let's fucking wrap it. I got something. to
Fail.
do. It's a lot.
You got
Not
drugs?
really,
you got
but
Molly.
still.
Is there
Yeah.
Molly? Up in the hood?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do Molly. I don't have any Molly. But
I don't know if I've ever
it's just
Me
getting there.
neither.
I'm gonna start stockpiling for Branson, Missouri. I don't know if I told you guys this.
All right, let's wrap this up so we can talk about some things that we can talk internally, and then soon we'll have things to share with all of you about some things that we're going to do. So
Shit.
we're going to go talk about that right now before Andy turns into a complete bowl of pudding
A yum bowl.
and a yum bowl.
Upside
Yummy
down.
bowl in the dash
Yeah,
bin.
Upside down
Yeah.
yum bowl, jazzy upside down. I served myself like it was a blizzard. Upside down. But here's what pisses me off, and it
You
still
you
angers me
tip
when
it
I
to
think
see
He
if
got his
it
franchise
holds.
wrong.
is I tried to prevent it from being worse, and I flipped the fork of rice and cheese and sour cream and avocado up into the dash, into places where you shouldn't be picking cheese out of your car, ever. Really, I think. Am I wrong? There's Erickson's frozen head again.
I
Someone's
think
pouring
it's
liquid. Who's
just,
pouring liquid?
not
I'm
me.
not. I'm not peeing. Are you
Oh,
serious?
and he's peeing in a cup. I can hear the liquid. God, that's a good mic, Andy. I love that mic.
Oh, that's a solid
Yeah,
mic.
The Rode NT USB, man.
Oh yeah, it is.
I hope even though
I'm gonna turn
Erickson's frozen, he got that.
I'm
Because
gonna turn
that's a
it.
great way to end the
Get it, yeah.
podcast.
I'm gonna turn it to that you can't hear me peeing.
That's still recording.
Yeah. So it's this.
Well, that's fucked. Still kept recording. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
he's gone.
Yeah. He might be back. We'll wait. Did he? He was still up in Studio B though, so it should be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just do that before he comes back.
Steve Pissfontaine.
Andy, don't put a gun in the shot unless you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Old screenwriter's trick, or that's a rule. Don't put a gun in the shot unless you're going to use it. Come on, man, chug.
Oh man, I can't do
Don't
that.
aim in how it's done.
It's really. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to get into Inman's franchise, which is piss chugging. Inman would be so mad if he found out I'm drinking piss. He'd be like, then you stole my bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm known as the piss drinking Asperger's. Fucking dickhead.
The piss drinking Asperger's.
Ass schmurger. Yep. What happened?
Hey, you coming back in?
Yeah.
All right, we'll hang. I'm recording. I know. So we'll hang until you get here.
You couldn't have heard me pissing on that
We'll
other.
hang until you get here. He's on his way.
Yeah, that's fucking. That was that was fun. Yeah. I thought I was getting away with it. I did the Zoom parent thing. I was like, you can't see my dick. I guess I'll just sit here and pee.
Hey, Chad. Honestly, I could hear it clear.
Well,
I
I
could
guess
hear
I
it
should have
clear.
known because you guys
And
heard.
that microphone is sitting on a stand about like at where his laptop is.
Yeah, it's above.
So
It
fucking
jacked up. Yep.
I like those mics.
Yeah, and well, that you can hear crickets. That's kind of amazing. You can hear
clearly, and they sound cool. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of crickets here.
Andy, I missed you being on the patio because I sometimes a squirrel will come up in a random fucking Twitter thing, and I'm like, oh, the squirrel. Where's the squirrels?
Yeah, I've been out in the driveway. There's like 4 babies, 2 silvers and 2 browns, and they hang out there like
I know you have squirrels there, but I felt like we had a Oliver on the Brady Bunch.
I know, yeah.
Added a character, and then we got rid of him, or like Chuck from Happy Days. We just got rid of him because it wasn't skewing right.
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I'm working a whole crew that I throw peanuts out for, and but I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been able to identify that one because it would come up and act the same way or whatever. But they'll be back. They'll know.
Do you have any plans to trap like you do the raccoons?
Oh no, I wouldn't trap it. I had a neighbor that trapped squirrels and took them into his house. I could never figure that shit out, other than he's eating them or doing some sort of
something worse.
Well, yeah, taxidermy or some shit. But he would, he'd come out, grab a trap, a squirrel in it, and drag it into the house. I guess I had more going on in my life at that time, so I didn't
You weren't paying
research it.
attention.
Yeah, it was in this side of town though. There was some fun. There was a mother-daughter a father-daughter that lived across from us. That the father yelled. They hated each other. They fucking hated each other, and they would let it be known loudly. And I just wasn't that curious. Or I would play the Ren and Stimpy Happy Happy Joy Joy
Yeah, yeah.
when I would hear them yelling at each other. But I was just, when you're young, you're kind of oblivious to that kind of shit. And it was sort of amusing instead of digging in going, wow, these people fucking hate each other's guts. Maybe I should help. Grease the skids. There he is.
Hi, everybody.
Are you done preaching out on the
street? Sign off without you.
Yeah, we could.
No.
Oh, I thought you guys would have done that by now.
No, I got caught peeing in a cup.
Sorry about that.
A lot of shit went on.
Caught Andy peeing in a glass. Yeah, foaming it up.
I'm gonna have to sign up for that. Sounds like another tier of the Patreon. I don't know if we should be letting
foaming the rim.
This is $20 a month. I'll shit chug this. I'll chug as much as I can for the rest of my.
Yeah, that's a tier no one wants to hit.
I apologize for being disconnected like that. I didn't really have any control over it, but I'm back, so
yeah,
we can wrap it up. Thanks everybody for being out there. I can't wait to see the last few minutes that I missed. I'm sure it'll be very exciting.
We got good mics. That's the gist of it.
Lovely.
Andy peeing in a cup.
Thanks for being out there, Patreon subscribers. We love you. I mentioned it briefly. We do have some very, very cool things coming up very, very soon. And you'll know about them in the next couple of weeks. So we're very excited about that. And we're excited to have you guys all out there. So thank you very much. We'll keep doing it as long as you guys are out there. And hopefully someday we'll have enough money to get Andy Andrist a cough button. Thanks.
and a piss button.
A piss jug. My old man.
I'd rather have the cough button.
Dude, I could hear him pissing
you have got
clearly.
The loudest cough of any like your one-time cough always hits on one of our punchlines every single time. Because you have to. You're not.
They're so practiced when you do that, it hurts to the fucking core.
Yeah, no, I the mic is obviously I've become aware that the mic is very sensitive, or I've been hydrated.
Sometimes you turn away, but you've always had that big explosive, sort of thing.
Eric, while you were gone, Eric, and Chad will back me up on this. I said, "Is that someone's fucking dick rubbing the rim of a pint glass?" And then I heard the foam.
You knew the sound?
That's how sensitive his mic is.